Hello, hello, hello. I hope you all are having a wonderful Friday. 21 people on. You guys are so awesome. Is everyone having a good day? Anything exciting going on in your world? All right, I'm getting JJ all set up here. Hi, Cindy. So glad that you're here. We're having JJ and Amanda withdrawals. I know JJ didn't go live yesterday. I thought that he really would, but he had his daughter's event and stuff. So, hi, Jean and Tracy. Oh, good. That's so awesome, Rob. Thank you so much for all your support. We really appreciate it. Yep, he had his daughter's graduation thing last night, so he was dealing with that, so he didn't go on. Card Shop Reality. Hi, Joyous. Joshua. Happy Friday. Did you guys get your drinks? Do you have a drink? What's your drink of choice? I have had a smoothie here from Tropical Smoothie, and I was like, I wonder what my coconut rum would taste like with that. So I mixed some of it in there, and it's quite delightful. Yay, I'm so glad that you guys have drinks too. We deserve it. We've worked hard this week. Hi, Simply Southern Services, LLC. Crown Royal. I can never do Crown Royal, although I did see this really awesome recipe with some, is it the peach Crown Royal? And I was like, that looks really good. Jack and Coke. Dr. Pepper, the Devil's Nectar. Mine is Diet Mountain Dew, as you guys know. Like, if I ever have to quit that, like, JJ's gonna have to put me in rehab because I'm addicted to Diet Mountain Dew. Malibu Sunset Breeze. That sounds yummy. Hi, Tony. Happy Friday. And God's Dozer's on. How are you doing, God Dozer? Are you better? Are you feeling better? No drinks here, maybe later. Well, you need to. Fall Inn Restaurant in Rose City, Michigan. Hello, you're sore? I'm so sorry. We've been thinking about you. Malibu and pineapple juice. Yes, that's a really good one. Japanese whiskey time. Had a machine roll over. I am so glad that you were okay. JJ and I have really been thinking about you. Wow, that sounds amazing, Mary. Are you guys, all you mamas out there, are you just gonna have a relaxing day on Sunday? I know it's not like we can go do anything. I don't know what we're doing. Nothing, because you can't go do anything. I don't even know what the weather's supposed to be like. I haven't even looked. It's crazy. It's already Friday. This week went by really fast. As you all know, JJ's getting ready for you. Yes, stress-free. That's the best type. My kids are older, so it's not like, you know, they can entertain themselves, so they don't really deal on me to entertain them anymore, so it's nice. Even though I do, my son's a senior, so, and my daughter is already graduated and out on her own, so I will only have one left in school. It was a course that took 5th of each. Well, I'm so glad. Wow, already 73 people on. You guys are so awesome. Anything exciting going on? Anybody get we did get some emails today with some people that got their money. So hopefully some more people will get some more soon. Hit the thumbs up button. That's right, God Dozer. Let's get those thumbs up. Thumbs up. Haven't been able to get out, so I've been hanging my head in shame waiting on 7-Eleven to deliver wine. I love it. I think we had a couple of liquor stores in town. I didn't order any. That's shocking that would deliver. but I think they're only doing it until next week and then it stops. Waiting to receive loan docs. Awesome. Well, I hope that you get them really soon. You know what? The coach is always, there's so many. Like we have Joshua, we have JJ, we have JJ the CPA, we have the coach. Like there's a lot inside of him. So they're just all lingering around waiting to come in. Hi, with Flying Colors. I hope you are doing well. Getting our PPP next week. That is awesome. So awesome. Your first time to give thumbs up via the phone. Yeah, it's different. I had several people that were like, I don't know how to give thumbs up on the phone. And so I had to go and like do it myself to explain to people what to do. And you have to exit out of the chat to be able to do it. They do, God Dozer, but you know what? It's entertaining and it's fun. And I love him. So he's perfect. 76 people on. Decorating your home and backyard today. Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. JJ does rule, Ronald. He rules. He rules it all. I thought I heard him coming, but I didn't. He's left me behind the camera for this long, like, what, 8 minutes now. I don't normally, I'm a behind the camera type of gal. Yeah, because money never sleeps. Coffee. You know what? I don't like coffee. Everybody would always say as you get older, like coffee is an acquired taste and you'll like it as you get older, and that has never happened. I like the smell of it, but I don't like the coffee. They're supposed to, like, okay, if you're on your phone and you see all the chat, there's a box up there that has like 3 lines and like some dots on it. If you click that off, then it'll make the chat disappear, and then you can give a thumbs up, and then you just hit the live chat button and it takes it back. Your fiance got you hooked. Yeah, and see, JJ's not a big coffee drinker. He used to maybe have like 1 cup of coffee, on a Saturday. He's so sensitive to caffeine, so he doesn't drink a lot of it. Me, on the other hand, like, that's my blood is caffeine. Hi, Nancy. So I just can't do coffee. You got funded for PPP through Square yesterday. That's so awesome, Augie. No, he really doesn't, Mike. He doesn't drink that much alcohol, except here in cocktail or when we're socializing, but and he doesn't drink a lot of caffeine. Yeah, he did. He kept me on camera this whole time.
We got drinks?
Yes, we have drinks. It's a little tropical. Like, I like really girly drinks. Hey, Tony, how are you? Or as they say, it's Tony. Tony. My son's middle name is Anthony because my ex-in-laws wanted to have his name, they wanted his name to be Anthony, so then they could call him Tony, because they live in Pennsylvania and they have that accent and they like the name Tony. But so there's a compromise, and his middle name is Anthony. And then Tony it never stuck. God Dozer is on with us today.
Nice.
I know. Somebody said, hi, Candace. Happy Friday. He's getting ready for y'all. Promise. He's here. We have some special. He even brought in his cigar to chew on. Good afternoon, Sarah Kay. You guys are so awesome. 88 people on. Jean McIntyre. By the time this is done, we will know you all very... Yes, I agree. I agree.
It's kind of hot in here, isn't it?
Yeah, we'll have to close the blinds because you'll say it's too bright on your face. Still waiting for PPP from Capital One and Cabbage. Cabbage has been garbage for me. I'm so sorry. We get so many so many people that are like, Cabbage has been awesome, and then other people that you know don't like it. Mike P, Cabbage is crap. All right, are you guys ready to see who you came here to see instead of me?
Whatever.
It's been 12 minutes I was behind the camera. So here he is.
12 minutes.
12.
Boom. Happy Friday, everybody. Good to see everyone.
Yes.
It's supposed to be baseball season, and there's a reason I'm wearing this hat. We will talk about it here in a minute. I got to get these popped out so that I can see. Look, now I look like a grandpa. This is what a grandpa, you don't wear these glasses with a legit, okay? This is a fitted hat, okay? Legit hat. Dodgers are like,
Our boys.
if you follow Dodgers, then you know who Tommy is. And he is the legend, and I've met Tommy a couple of times. But he says if you're a true Dodger fan, you bleed blue. Okay, so he was the manager for years. I remember watching the Dodgers with my stepdad in Seattle, 1988. And I'm standing up with my stepdad, and we are watching the World Series. Okay, it wasn't Game 7. We're watching the World Series, and the Dodgers are down. It's the last inning, and they put up Kirk Gibson, okay, who's been injured, who can hardly walk, and he fouls off. It seemed like 688 foul balls to then hit a home run. I mean, it's like straight out of the movies, like The Natural, and it was just a great moment for my stepdad and I. But I'm going to tell you some other Dodger stories today, but here's why I'm going to tell you some Dodger stories, and then I got to say hi to a few people here, is that the Dodgers, okay, right here, look at this, is a coach. This is a paperweight. This is a coach paperweight from the LA Dodgers. But the Dodgers, I ended up doing a comment on a story I was asked to comment about, and a radio station that has a sports channel picked up on it. And so I got I got an email, and they said, hey, we'd like to have you come on our show. It's in Dallas, Fort Worth. It's the #1 show. We want to do an interview with you at this time. And I was like, well, this is cool. I'm going to talk about CPA numbers, PPP on a sports talk show. And so I do a little bit of research, and I'm talking about, in my quote, I'm talking about the Dodgers and then the MLB and how much revenue's lost and all the ad revenue that's lost. And I have a story idea, which is the first sport to come back is going to pick up new fans. If they just would come back, the first golf tournament, like who likes golf? Not a lot of people per se. But they might watch this golf tournament. Why? Because there's nothing else on. Americans love competition. So here's the thing. Because of the Dodgers, I get on this radio show. And if you haven't seen the video yet, I put it together. But here's one of the reasons I put it together the way that I put it together is that they are going to call me, okay, while we're live. And I have to take it because I didn't want to pick, okay? I want to go live. I want to stay live, but I don't want to pick. So this radio station's calling me at about 4:25, maybe in about 9 minutes, 4:25, 4:30, and they're re-airing, as I understand it, the interview from yesterday. I guess it was that good. But if you go and you watch the video that I posted last night, it's called Craziest Radio Interview Ever. You need to go and watch that. I'm going to talk about it a little bit more. I'll talk to you a little bit more after this. But the reason that they're wanting to follow up is, at least is what they told me. They said, you did the best interview we've ever had in this segment. And so when we re-air it, we want to re-air it and then bring you on live, JJ, the CPA, to talk to everybody. It's the number one station in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, so I'm pretty excited about it. And it's will you look it up? Because I need to know. It's something in Skin. 97.1 The Eagle, if you happen to be. It's the Eagle. I know it's the Eagle because I know it's the Eagle.
So what am I looking at?
97.1 The Eagle rocks, and it shows all the shows, and today it's such and Skin. Well, who's on? I heard you say all kinds of people. We got Tony, Carol's on. We've got some questions, I think, from Mike Fisher. Hey, thank you so much. Mike sent a donation to B4BCares.org. We got it in the mail.
The Ben and Skin Show.
The Ben and Skin Show. So I got to talk to Ben right after the interview.
Glenda wants to know what your take on Scientology is. So she watched the video.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, you probably caught too at the end of the interview. I kind of went back and made sure everybody knew I was just trying to stay with the interview. But it was a crazy interview. I'll talk about it a little bit more. But we've got Carol, Card Shop Reality Inferno. He knows what we're talking about on that craziest. So I've done radio interviews. I just lucked out. I don't know if it has anything to do. I've been told I've got a kind of a radio voice. And so I kind of lucked out that when I first started practicing back in 1997, before the turn of the century, I got on Alan in the Morning. And I did a good job with Alan because Alan ended up becoming a client. But ever since then, I've had some opportunities to be on the radio. And then I had a great friend. I mean, he became a great friend who had me on his radio show every Tuesday during tax season. And then it grew to be year-round, and then it grew to be 10 minutes, and then it was 15 minutes, and then he passed away. But we had 9 years in a row. The great Reed Mullins, it was KTOK, AM 1000, and in Oklahoma City. It was the #1 talk radio show channel, at least in Oklahoma City. Anyways, I started to go by JJ, and then JJ the CPA, and then he really kind of helped put that out there because when he would introduce me, he'd be like, it's not a CPA, it's not even the CPA, it's JJ, the CPA. So anyways, here's the reason I'm telling you all this. I know that when you go and do a radio show, it's fast, it's furious, even different from when you're on TV. You know, when you're on TV, you're sitting there and, you can read the body language of the person that's interviewing you. You can cue, you can see when it's going to go, you can kind of tell when they're getting ready to ask you the question. You know when they're going to ask you the next question because you can kind of see them, right? So when you're doing a radio interview, you might as well be doing it like this, right? Because you can't see anybody that you're talking to. And going on a sports radio program, which I had never done, right? It's always been talk interview type, right? Where it's going to be just kind of straight up about the business. So I'd spent maybe 30 minutes. And if you've seen it, like Card Shop Reality, and who was it, Glenda? If you've seen the video, you realize that the 30 minutes of research that I did beyond even the comment that I had made that got me the radio interview was for nothing. But I did all this research because when you're going on a radio interview, I have notes with me, which in some ways makes it easier than a TV interview. But I had my notes with me so I could talk stats. And if you're listening to it, I try and throw in a couple of those things, talk about the LA Lakers and their 4.6 billion. But in this video, I decided, unlike others, you can't hear every question that they're asking me. So I put the question up, it's in blue, it's them. And then I tell you what I'm thinking as well. So like as the video is progressing, tell you what it's thinking. So Amanda and I were supposed to do something last night. And I was like, you know what? I need to get this done because if I can share this with Ben and Skin, then maybe they'll tell their listeners, well, hey, you need to go check out JJ the CPA's YouTube channel. So thank you to the LA Dodgers, okay? Because I'm 4th generation Dodger fan. And Amanda and I are huge Oklahoma City Dodger fans. That's right, the AAA baseball team is here. All right, hey, enough on the LA Dodgers. Who else we got here with us? Let's see, Tracy and Rob. Oh, Rob said the book arrived from Amazon yesterday. And then your book comes on Monday. So I must have been talking to you. Thank you.
When they were talking to me.
Ah, I love it. I love it. Let's see. Road Lion and Jason, morning from Parkland, Florida. And I know you already said hi to these people, didn't you?
Yeah.
So Joyous and Joshua, we got your email. And Augie, how you doing? Let's see. And Mary and Alyssa and Tina, what's up? Mary, Scott, Tracy, God's Dozer. Right? I knew I was reading. So we got, and God's Dozer, hope you're doing well. We got.
He said he was sore, but he had a piece of machinery that fell over, so.
Yeah.
But he did say he's doing better.
So we got this wonderful handwritten note. We'll keep it private.
Yeah.
But we got this wonderful handwritten note from God's Dozer. And got this nice, neat deal. We didn't want to show it the other day. I pretended it. I did do this, God's Dozer. I missed it. I pretended it was a brick cell phone the other day. This was my brick cell phone when it was Gordon Gecko's birthday. But anyways, I thought this was just the coolest ever. And what's really cool about this is that when I put it in my office, it's going to be a total conversation piece.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing like this in my office, and I should have opened it. But it's a straight up, real deal cat. Okay, it's metal machines, and as you can see, it's a dozer.
The dozer.
It is a
God's
dozer.
dozer.
That's right. That's right. Thank you so much for that. Very thoughtful. I really, really appreciate that. That was awesome. And we were waiting for you on Wednesday. Sorry to hear that something had occurred. Hope you are doing better and well.
He says, thank you for all your help.
Well, you bet. You bet. I'm glad that you got it. Well deserved. You were diligent to stay after it and got it 1 month and 1 day after. So successful in that, which I'm glad. Cool P. Got PPP, but trying to find out when I got.
Why I got shortchanged though.
Oh, goodness. Well, send me an email on that. Tony! And then we got Tanya and Charlotte. And let's see, Jami from, if I'm reading that right, Jami from Michigan. And let's see, Glenda. And let's see, is Fred on? Where's Fred? Charlotte, TNG Customer Service. Loving it. And Cindy Bell. Hey, I haven't been able to get out, so I'm hanging my head in shame and waiting for 7-Eleven to deliver some wine. Well, there you go. 7-Eleven delivers wine in California. We're going to learn more about Cindy next week. I'm very excited. I told Amanda, I said, hey, I'm going on this call. I'm just going to do a quick intro call. I'm going to do a quick intro call because we need to do a call. And you know what? I'm already giving away too much. Anyways, I think, how long were you on the phone? 2.5 hours?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Yeah.
Shh. Shouldn't have said anything. I'm letting things out.
Where's your drink at?
Mickety Mac, don't look back with flying colors. Oh, flying colors is, I have enjoyed your comments. Thank you so much on my other videos. Tina, what's up? Elusive, Ronald, and let's see. And there's Fred. There's Fred. I'm cleaning love bugs off my car. You already read his? And went to the beach today. Nice.
Totally jealous.
Nice. Down in Florida. Florida. Let's see, they're stuck on good, rubbing alcohol. I will tell you this. I'm not going to get too deep because any minute, okay, this radio station's going to call me. It's 97.1, The Eagle. The Eagle rocks. It's a rock and roll station. Number 1 in Dallas, Fort Worth. Right now, they're probably finishing up the story. Kevin, the producer, called me a couple hours ago. In fact, I was right in the middle of shooting a video, which, by the way, I've got some interesting stuff that we're going to talk about as soon as I'm done with this. And one of the things that's happened to me that I predicted in a video, I even went and found it and included it in the video that I'm going to release either tonight or tomorrow. But I predicted it in a video that's like proof that I predicted it on March 13th, that what was happening is now happening. And I even said it happened to me before. And guess what? I had a phone call. We were on hold 45 minutes.
45 minutes. Like 45 minutes and 36 seconds to
Yeah.
get on.
Yeah.
Like,
And it happened to me, and I was just like, man. I knew it was going to, though, because it's the company that always does it. All right, Augie. All right, Mike P does. Oh, now I know why you were talking about that. Let's see. Oh, and then God Dozer says, because money never sleeps. And then it looks like I'm going to slip down. Oh, we got Kleber on. And let's see. Oh, and Carol. Maybe I think we have an email from Carol. Maybe, I think. Maybe another Carol. And Candace and Ricardo. You know, I had a good friend of mine that I went to elementary school, and his name was Ricardo, and everybody loved that name because of Ricky Ricardo. Mm-hmm. And maybe in some places someone may, not have liked to be associated with. I don't know why not. Desi and Ricky, right?
Right.
They were like the sweethearts of, what would that be, the 50s?
Right.
50s, 60s? Mm-hmm. Oh, Lucy!
Yeah.
I'm home. Are you even old enough? Did you ever watch I Love Lucy?
I Love Lucy. I was older, but I did love watching it.
My mom loved watching I Love Lucy.
I loved it. It was hilarious. My grandma liked it too.
Ricardo Perez, and it was Betty, right? The neighbor.
Yep.
What was all right, here's a koozie. What was Betty's husband's name in I Love Lucy, right? The neighbor, kind of the heavier set guy. What was that? What was the name there? Here we go. You ready? Y'all mind listening in? Fred. JJ, the CPA here. No worries. Yep. Okay, thanks. All right, it said 440 to 445.
Okay.
So.
His name was Fred.
Yeah, who got it? Clay? John Hamilton?
Alan.
What's up, John?
It was,
Marty?
Alan.
All right, so Alan sent us an email. We'd love to send you a koozie. JJ, the CPA koozie. Oh, Mark and Sarah K. What's up? South Lake Homes. We got another John, Alyssa, Glenda, and Jean McIntyre. What's going on, everybody? Happy Friday. So, what happened? You want me to tell them now? Or should we answer a couple emails to kind of mix it in?
Whatever you want to do. You're the.
You know what? This is more fun. So let me tell them the story, and then we'll jump to some emails. So here's the deal. Jason, what's going on? How was the dive? Happy Friday. We've got Bree Power. Can you take profits if you get PPP? Yes. So here's the deal. Glenda's like, enough. Tell us what happened.
Yeah.
I get an email. Okay, and now here's the thing. I want you to still watch the video that I'm going to release because I talk more about it. But I get this email. Okay, got to grab something out of my. I get an email, and it says we can't authorize this $49 charge because of recent activity on your account. Please call. And I'm thinking, okay, must be something fraudulent. And it was actually you were charging lunch. And so anyways, I call 45 minutes. I'm like, what in the world? Because I will tell you this, right? I guess there's no real reason that, but I have an American Express card that when I was a kid, right? Who was it? Another koozie. Who was it that made famous the American Express back in the 70s or 80s? And it was like, American Express, never leave home without it. Who was that? It was a famous actor. Someone's going to know. It's going to pop up here any minute. I know it.
I don't know that one.
American Express, never leave home without it. Well, and it was like the hardest credit card to get.
Seinfeld?
Nope, earlier than that. Seinfeld was a kid,
Connery?
not Sean Connery. Bigger nose, Sarah Kay. So Tom Selleck, nope. The Fonz, nope. It was like one of those character actors. It's like real serious. Let's see, the guy from, yep, that's exactly who that was. The guy, Clay's got it.
Carl Malden.
Yep, we're gonna give it to Mike Fisher and Wayne and Ron and Clay, okay, all of you. So anyways, when I was a kid, like American Express, like, oh my gosh, my parents didn't have credit cards. It might have been the only credit card there was back in the early days, right? Anyway, so ever since, it's like, wow, American Express. And when I went out, On my own, I tried to get an American Express because I tried to get one right out of college and like, sorry, you don't make any money. And then when I went out on my own, they're like, well, how long you been on your own? Like, well, I just went out on my own. Anyways, 2007, I decide for whatever reason, you know what, I'm gonna go get me an American Express. It got me a gold card. And now I have a platinum card, okay? Metal. And what I love is like I felt like $1 million because I'm checking out on the McAllister's, bought some sandwiches. I'm checking out and the guy that takes my card literally goes,
Put your card up in front of the camera.
oh, okay. What can anybody do with it? Oh, I guess they have a number. Anyways, so did I show the back of it?
I don't know, but you have it up.
Someone could freeze frame it?
Maybe.
All right, well, I guess I'll call and get a new one. The guy that's checking me out at McAllister's sandwich shop goes, he's like, wow. He's like, that metal? I was like, yep. And he's like, you've made it when your plastic is metal. So the reason I'm telling you all that is that I'm thinking, well, I'm going to call American Express. I'm platinum card holder. I got a special phone number on the back. I'm on hold 45 minutes. And to be honest with you, I'm like, what is going on? Normally, if I've ever called American Express, minutes, and I'm talking to somebody live. So anyways, 45 minutes. I'm so frustrated after like 20. I take the phone to Amanda and I said, I can't listen to this anymore because the person comes on every 20 seconds, nice voice, says,
Your call is very important to us. Please continue to hold and the next available operator will take your call.
Oh my gosh, every 20 seconds. Anyways, finally, they come on. My banker's here delivering me biscuits and jam, which you'll see in my 24/7 video. But anyways, on hold 45 minutes, they come on. I go into Cooper's room just because my banker's here. And I say, so what's going on? You got a concern about some charges? And like, well, yeah, there's been some activity. And I said, okay. And I'm thinking it's going to be fraudulent. And they're like, well, there's just been a number of charges. I'm like, okay. I said, well, I did log in while I was waiting. I mean, there's like a handful of charges. We've been home. $100 maybe, it's $150 is the highest one, bunch of $20 ones. I just made a $6,000 payment, on it at the first of the month. So I'm literally thinking it's fraud. And they're like, well, the reason that wasn't charged is that you've reached your internal limit. I'm like, what? There's a limit on American Express? And he's like, well, it's a conditional, no preset spending. And you're gonna see in the video that I show a little video that it shows that on mine. He's like, there is an internal limit. And maybe they didn't go over it with you when you first got your card. And I said, no, they didn't go over it with me. And I said, the balance that I have now, I've had double that. And easily. Like, well, basically, what we've decided to do is your credit limit is now what you owe. And I said, what? I said, I don't, that's fine. And right now, honestly, I do have a limit. I mean, I do have a balance on there, kind of on another reason for it. But anyways, I was like, well, does this have anything to do with my credit or something? They're like, no. I was like, well, I mean, I've always paid on time, right? And they're like, yep. And I said, well, is this anything that I've done? Nope. We've just decided that we need to enforce internal limit. And I said, all right, well, level with me. Am I the only one? And he's like, well, no. That's why we've had an increase in calls. That's why you had to wait for 45 minutes because we're reevaluating our available credit. So on March 13th, I predicted, and this happened to me before and it's happened to other clients. And then coincidentally, I talked with a client that I know this happened to before. And I said, hey, did you get the call from Amex? And they're like, nope, not yet. But anyways, American Express is doing what I predicted. Our great friend Russell McDonald had indicated that banks are going to start once this PPP rolls, and then we're kind of past the crisis. And it's right now you'd get be bad publicity for a bank to take away your credit. So get ready. In my video, I reference back to the one that I did, but basically what we're going to see in the next month is lines of credits are going to be frozen, and the banks can do that. We have to remember that if a bank's evaluating if a business has been closed, this would be your bank. Credit card probably wouldn't know that. But in essence, if you are a business that relies on credit, maybe you don't even think you rely on it other than like, well, there's a safety net there. Well, right now, there's not been that much money coming in. So if there's not been as much money coming in, and now you're going to be in a situation you're going to reopen, I understand you have PPP money, but if you're getting ready to reopen, you might need extra funds for what's to come because money's not pouring in, right? So what I would recommend, and Russell recommends it, okay, someone that's in the mortgage industry and other bankers, they'll tell you secretly that you should do this. But here's what you should do. Depending on how much you've got here, is that if you have a line of credit and you have a lot of money in your bank, you should separate those two things into different banks. Okay, so if you got 100K sitting in your bank, and then you have a line of credit and you've borrowed money on it, the bank can, anytime they want, it's going to be in the fine print, can take money out of your account and pay off the line of credit, and then say, and we're reducing the line of credit. It happens to the best of my clients, like doctor clients that have plenty of money, but here's a line of credit, they've done it. Not recent, but when we had other issues, it might have been 10 years ago. If you have a credit card, right? And I already know this because when I did the original video, really only clients saw it. I'll tell you, this video that I shot on March 13th had, I think 38 views on it, okay? And they would have been all clients. And I remember having a discussion with one of my clients. He's like, well, I've had this card for a long time. I'm never late, got a pretty good limit and this, and this. And I said, yeah, but you do use it and then you pay it down, you use it. And you're an attorney, so there's times that, you use it, and then the case comes in and you pay it, and then you use it. Anyways, I was just like, you might be prepared that it's gonna be limited or go down. And they weren't having it. And I said, well, that's fine. Maybe it won't happen to you. But we really tie our identity a lot of ways into, well, how much credit we have available. Some of you, it might be, well, I don't have any debt. Some of you may be, well, I have this much available to me, but I'm gonna leverage that to the hilt. And when you're using a line of credit, the purpose of a line of credit is to use the bank's money for inventory, or money's getting ready to come in, so use the bank's money to cover expenses now till your money comes in. There's lots of ways to leverage debt. Now, everybody has a different feeling of debt and based on their upbringing. All I'm saying is this: if you'll go to jjthecpahelp.com, I've got a page called Guide, Survival Guide. I put that up on there. It had to be near the beginning of March, and it's how to project your cash position 3 weeks from now. Why is that important, especially now? Any business is gonna be out of debt. Any business could be bankrupt within 3 weeks. You all probably know that more than you did a couple of months ago, right? Meaning no money's coming in, right? So you have to know your cash position in 3 weeks from the standpoint of, are you going to need your line of credit in 3 weeks? And if so, borrow the money now. And Russell McDonald even said, and agrees, and others, get money off your line of credit and go put it in another bank. Now, I know then the discussion is like, well, but I have to pay interest on that. Is that gonna matter to you if in 3 weeks you need that 50K? Let's be a little realistic. And I think a lot of this stuff is that human tendency is we wanna put our head in the sand. We don't really want to admit that maybe the credit's going to change, because some of us either put a lot of pride in it, or we get a lot of concern out of it, or it scares the heck out of us. All I'm saying is you got to put all your emotion aside and really evaluate, are you going to need your line of credit in 3 weeks? And if so, you need to pull the money now. And if you're relying on a credit card, maybe don't pay the dang thing off, okay? Right? Listen to me, JJ the CPA, I have a balance. I'm carrying a balance. Why do you think that I'm doing that? When normally I get a balance, I pay it off. Normally I get a balance, maybe a couple of months, got something that comes in, I pay it off. Why haven't I paid off my American Express? Because I knew this was going to happen. I knew it. And it has nothing to do with me. So the reason I'm being transparent about it is to show everybody. I'm not saying I'm like, oh, well, because I'm a CPA, I have superior credit. I'm just saying that if I'm being a little transparent, then maybe other people will be like, well, maybe I need to really think about this, because there's nothing worse than you're down to fumes, okay? You're down to fumes in your dozer that we got here from God's Dozer. You're down to fumes, And then you go to the gas tank, boom, which is what? Your line of credit, and it's like, sorry. And in my book, I talk about this, okay? I talk about this, and this is Tony's book right here. Tony right here put, hey JJ, and a really neat note, but he wants me to autograph it and bring it when I meet him in Florida sometime in the next few months or so. In my book, I talk about this, that banks need to get paid, okay? Banks don't want to loan you money when cash flow's not good. They don't want to loan you money when there's 10 bucks in the bank. Why? Because they're all wanting to get paid back. Oh, we got here, in the inferno. All right, hey, enough on that, but I will tell you this. Why am I wearing the Dodgers hat? Look at this. You talk about, I mean, straight up Dodger fan, but this is hanging in my son's bathroom here. We've got this. I just grabbed it really quick. In fact, it's kind of dusty. I don't know if you can tell. Hopefully not. Movie magic, right? You can't see it. But Brooklyn Dodgers. So I remember watching the Dodgers with my, let's see, it would have been my great-grandmother when she was in the nursing home. And this had to be early on because I lived in California and I was around my family until I was about 5, and then I didn't know I didn't know any of my family once we left California, which was around 5 years old. But anyways, I remember, you know, just the hallway and then sitting in the room with my great-grandmother, with my grandfather, because he would go and visit his mother. I want to say he went and visited her every Sunday for a couple hours. I remember watching golf tournaments, and I learned who Jack Nicklaus was at 4 years old. Now, I might just be thinking I remembered I met Jack Nicklaus. I don't know, but it seemed like I remember someone saying something about Jack Nicklaus, but I don't know. I was 4. Nonetheless, I do remember watching the LA Dodgers, a game. Didn't even know what LA Dodgers were. I just knew it was baseball, with my great-grandmother and my grandfather and my mom, right? And then when my mom remarried my stepdad, he was a Dodgers fan because he was from LA, grew up in East LA. And anyways, total Dodger fan. My brothers are Dodger fans. And of course now Cooper's a Dodger fan. I did let him decide on his own, but he's a huge Dodger fan. So we've been to some games and whatnot. So why am I wearing this hat? Because if you just joined us, at this point, probably any minute, I'm gonna get a call from a radio station. I was on a sports talk show yesterday, and it was because I was talking about the Dodgers, and I was talking about MLB and businesses being closed, including sports, and then how would the sports industry regain itself. So, do we have time? You know what? Do we want to tackle a quick email? Do we got a quick one? Uh-oh. Nope, here we go. All right, so I'm going live right now across Dallas-Fort Worth. JJ, the CPA here. All right. So I'm on hold right now. It's kind of normal. They're doing a...
This guy in particular is one of the coolest we've ever interviewed. Joshua Jenson, JJ the CPA, joins us now. JJ, how you doing, brother?
I am doing good. What's going on?
You were fantastic. I just got to ask you, you jump on, you're doing an interview with us. At what point are you thinking these guys are weirdos?
When we started talking about the sushi roll on a stick, right? And I'm thinking, okay, now before that I was like, well, is Carl maybe like an old DJ that, is kind of like hard of hearing or something like that? Like, what is going on? Now you'll notice that I kept trying to bring it back to PPP.
Yes.
Always trying to bring in the sports. I was like, well, I guess I'm carrying this interview. That's what you get.
You were a lot more organized than the guys that were on air. That's for damn sure.
Well, I tell you what, the one part where I thought, well, maybe this is some kind of I wasn't going to go to gag, but I thought, well, this must become some kind of shtick when you then started talking about the mosquitoes and then the murder, what are they, the murder ants? And then kept going back to Dude Perfect. But I'll tell you what, I rewatched it, and you all need to go watch, because for some reason, I have no reason why I did this other than I must have had some premonition for this. I videoed myself on the interview, and I was just doing it. I've got a YouTube channel. In fact, I'm live on my YouTube channel right now with a bunch of people listening as well. We're on. So anyways, I videoed it, and then if you guys go check it out on my YouTube channel, it says 97.1, The Eagle Rocks, JJ the CPA Sports Interview, the craziest radio interview I've ever been on in 23 years. But I'll tell you this, I put on there like what I was thinking. I put words up like what I was thinking, what your questions were. I think, well, now I got to play it straight. And then there was at one point, one of you then asked like, well, how did you become the man that you are, JJ the CPA? I'm like, well, I better just bring it. So anyways, but now I thought that I was a good sport because at the end I was like, in the inferno!
That might have been my favorite part of the whole damn thing.
Well,
go ahead.
Well, I figured I would have shocked you guys because you guys were shocking me and shocking me and shocking me. I thought, you know what? I'm going to do a little shocking of my own. I'm going to yell this out. And I thought you guys were awesome. And by the end of it, I thought, you know what? This is going to somehow work out for me.
You were so great, and it just goes to show that you could roll with just about anything. And you know, our goal for doing this is just kind of laugh at how stupid these radio shows are that they throw together. And we never want the joke to be on the person we interview.
Right.
That's why we always like them to come back and be a part of this. And
right.
Because it's such a horrible spot to put a guest in. It's not fair because you can't see us and you're trying to be nice to us.
Yeah.
But it's just so weird. But I think of all the people we've done this with over the years, you're my favorite, and you handled it so exceptionally well. And there's no wonder that you're such a successful CPA and so good at what you do because you handled that perfectly.
Well, thank you so much. And as long as you guys have been on the air and being the #1 show in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, it's such an honor. And you guys have a little bit of ties as up to Oklahoma. And so I know you're good folk. And I'll tell you this, Amanda and I are going to be down in Dallas. Maybe there's a way we can come get a picture with you or something like that. It'd be a lot of fun.
As long as in the current climate we're at least 6 feet away from each other, we would love.
Oh, so it's going to be like that, is it?
Distance picture.
I thought we were family after all this.
I'm staying away from my family too. It's okay.
JJ, thank you so much. You were great. We definitely want to keep this going and would love to visit with you guys when you're back, when you come through to the Metroplex or when we're up in Oklahoma. But you were a great sport. You made that a lot of fun, and it's no wonder you're so good at what you do. Thanks for your time, brother.
Hey, thank you. And everybody needs to check out my YouTube channel for 97 Rocks, The Eagle. JJ the CPA is the YouTube channel. Come check these guys out.
Right on. Bravo, sir. Well done.
All right. Thank you so much.
Hey, will you give us one more Inferno?
Inferno!
Yes, sir. All right, wear rubber, man. JJ the CPA, Joshua Jenson. Oh, my God. What a great...
And it's like that.
Yay!
I wanted to put them on speaker because I was like, well, I want everybody to listen in. All right. Hey, thanks for letting me interrupt the show and talk about the LA Dodgers. I know that people are also on here. Check the hair here because they're like, all right, get down to business, JJ. Enough of the storytelling. Your shirt looks fine. Where, though, is... I have water in here. So I thought, you know, it's Friday. Well, no. That's old by now. Amanda made me this...
was it not? You wanted something else?
It's tropical smoothie with coconut rum in it, and it tastes a little rancid.
Oh.
So I need a little bit. Did everybody see this? If you haven't been on, I wish that I could just say, you know what, you need to go hire God's dozer, but he sent that to me. Look at, we got some Inferno here. Nancy H. Clay, Rockstar, thank you so much. Alyssa, I appreciate that. Crystal. And let's see, Gemlin Minor, and then Mickety Mac. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Bach Yay TV. Alyssa Inferno, I love it. John Hamilton, Joshua Flores. I know, water. I mean, come on. Glenda, Oh, you're right. Card Shop Reality. Dang it. You know what? I will have to put some slacks on, but you know what? Those slacks that I'd have to pull from the back of the closet will have like pleats in them. But I think I do have a pair. I owe it to Card Shop Reality. Now, hang on a second. Card Shop Reality, did you see on the thumbnail that I did on the last coaches that I had a little CSR in the thumbnail? Did you see that? Maybe you can't, I still haven't circled back. Did you see that I had done that? All right, okay, so Sean N. Hi JJ, great content. I'm an S-Corp file. K1, I did get 20K PPP money. How much am I allowed to pay myself for the 8-week period? It would be based on your wages. I will tell you this, if the bank gave it to you based on the K1, unfortunately, based on SBA guidelines that came out, let's see, on the 24th, none of it will be forgivable. Maybe if you started some wages or something, but you need to talk to the bank because it's supposed to be based on wages. Oh my gosh, look at this. Cape Cod, Sean, check with the bank. Tara, let's see, Joey's Broadway, Inception going live. Inception was a great movie if that's what we're talking about. Okay, Leonardo DiCaprio, are you kidding me? I think at the end, the whole thing was a dream, okay? I think at the end, the whole thing was a dream. Let's see, we had Clay, American Express got hit. Ma, looking for you. Yes, and then let's see, Tara, hi JJ, in Landon, Inferno, loving it. And Sarah K, I'm so glad, Sarah K, who's always sent me some wonderful stuff. Let's see, Ronald Gray, JJ keeping it, Brockmeyer, Christy Ashley, hey. And let's see, Samula. That's almost like hallelujah, Samula. What's up, Johnny? Oh no, we got John Hamilton, Johnny Walker. We don't have any Johnny Walker Blue. You know, I thought I was drinking Johnny Walker Blue on Gecko's birthday.
I'm sorry, I tricked you.
And I wasn't. So you made me lie. Nah, I'll forgive you. Let's see, Inferno, dude, I just heard you on Ben and Skin. You earned yourself a subscription and you're an amazing sport. Oh my gosh. All right, Steve H88, how awesome is that? I love you. Hey, and you probably heard then if you were listening in, but you got to check out the video. You can kind of skip 3 minutes in if you want to get right to the interview. It's about maybe 2.5, 3 minutes in, and I have the whole interview. And well, I guess you heard the darn interview. I guess you had earned the interview. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Hello, YOLO Salon. Thank you for your input on the PPP and the PUA. Awesome. Cool P, what's up? Ordering both of you guys books today. Thanks for all the help. Thank you, Cool 1P. Cool 1P.
Sound like a radio.
Cool 1P's down with PPP. Yeah, you know me. Now listen, I'm just excited because I got to go on a badass radio station. But what's our word of the day? Not PPP. What are we going to say? This is a big glass. It better be something I'm going to say often.
PUA.
No, PUA. What's the word? What's our word today? What's our word today? Does anybody want to throw one out there? Let's see. PB. It's not the work comp. Oh my God, Alyssa, you're a genius. Christy, we did PPP last Friday, and it got a little out of hand because I was saying PPP too much, and it was Card Shop Reality that kept me in check. Clay kept us in check. He's like, you said PPP 3 times, and then I had to.
Also, he keeps us in check too.
Yes. Let's see. Songong, farmer with spouse that works an additional job. On the farm, we pay for additional health insurance through the exchange. Can't write off taxes, but I can use PPP forgiveness. Yes. But I'll tell you what, if you've got net on that Schedule F, you can do self-employment health insurance premiums, so check that out. Let's see, PB, turning it up on Friday. Let's see, Dr. Ong, keeping feet healthy. This is my first live chat on YouTube, and thank you for the info. Thank you for joining us.
Yay, Card Shop Reality is going to send us a photo of the koozie and cameo appearance.
Nice.
Please do.
Nice, I'm loving it.
Include yourself in it too now, because now we know what your real name is. Now we know what you look like, so we can keep it all secret.
You know, Card Shop Reality is like Iron Man, and then we know he's Tony Stark. Okay. All right, we better get to some questions. Happy Friday from Minnesota, Annette and Alyssa and Sean and Richard. Hello from Michigan, Alyssa. Except for the stogie. Bum, dum, dun, 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 dun. Why am I singing Star Wars?
I don't know.
All right, let's go to some emails. Let's see. Oh my gosh, I'm way behind. This thing just popped to the bottom. All right. TNG, how you doing? Mickey Mac, Glenda, Hannah Alley, Song Gong, Christy Ashley. I thought that it was Christy Alley. It's Christy Ashley.
That sounds like an actress name.
It does, Christy Ashley. Yeah. Except nowadays you have to have two middle names. So that would be an actor from the 80s, probably. And I say that with all due respect, because
right.
my favorite actors are from the 80s.
Bye, Card Shop.
What? CSR? All right. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you.
She gets that all the time, she says. Christy does.
Gotcha.
It does. It sounds like a movie actress name. All right.
All right, we're going to dig into some questions. Thanks for sticking around. Don't mean to be this entertaining, but it's Friday.
It is Friday.
Inferno!
Inferno!
So if you have coffee, tea, water, Coke, or something a little stronger, it's time to take a drink. All right, questions.
All right, this is from Garden Gal 66. First, I want to thank you for all of your videos. I recommend all my friends with businesses to tune in because you are very informative and easy to understand, and I greatly appreciate you, so thank you. My loan was approved on 4/30. Documents were not sent until 5/4. I signed and returned 5/4. If I received my PP money today, Wednesday 5/6, do I start to use it immediately for this week? Payroll reporting for last week ending 5/1 since the checks will be dated 5/8 Friday, or do I start next payroll?
I know. Clay, right? 3 a.m. Clay is like his brain is hurting, like mine, trying to figure out this same exact thing. Hey, Ron, we're going to answer an email that'll answer your question here in a little bit. Hey, Twisty Bros, what's up? So on that, the 56 days starts when the loan is dispersed. And the banks seem to really be defining that as when you get the money, because we know that the banks have 10 days from basically the time that it's approved, in essence, by the SBA to give you your money. But then it's when it's dispersed to you, 56 days. I know that's the easy part of your question there. But did you hear all those dates? I mean, like I signed this, it got approved, and got this, and blah, 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 blah. So the thing about it is that really the consensus right now is that, because without SBA guidance, the consensus is this, okay? You have two different things going on. You got cash coming in, okay? And then you have a forgiveness calculation. So when it comes to the payroll, if you're reading the SBA guidelines, it says in the law, it says it's payroll that occurred, okay, during the 8 weeks. So that's going to be your forgiveness amount, period, right? So there's no games that could be played in the sense of, well, during this 56 days, I paid for a payroll here that was back before the 56 days, and then right before the end of the 56 days, I prepaid. None of that's going to be able to be possible, because you have to bring, according to 1106E in the CARES Act, you're bringing your payroll figures and by employee, okay? And by employee, at least if they follow the law, from a time period, 2 different time periods in 19, three different time periods in 2020, so that there's a comparison. But here's the deal. On the money that you're getting, this side of the equation, the money that you're getting, okay? Now you gotta remember, Oklahoma banks might be different than your bank, but in essence, the 5 banks that I visited with about this, they said, you know what? If it's going for payroll, we don't care. In the sense that if you're paying payroll, like you just got PPP money and you're using it for payroll, they don't care, okay? Because it's being used for what was the intent of the grant, right? So what was the intent of the grant? Pay for payroll. How do you determine forgiveness? Payroll that occurred during the 56 days. So the banks have been fine, but they're making it clear, like just because you're using it in the 56 days, if it covers before 56 days, don't even kid yourself, it's not going to include the pre-56 days when you get to the forgiveness calculation. So I even did that myself. I got my PPP money, and then a week later I had payroll. I talked to my banker as well. He was the one that delivered us some wonderful, a ton. I even put half of them in our freezer, biscuits, okay? And biscuits from Oklahoma are legit. I digress. When I called Jason, I said, listen, I got a payroll. This is my thought. This is what other banks are thinking. Is this what we're doing with other clients? And he said, yes. So great question on that. I really appreciate it. And what do we got next? Inferno.
Inferno. All right. Our next one is from Tony. This is about the tax court. Remind taxpayers to ask permission for forgiveness.
Yeah. I'll tell you that. And boom, look at this. Deep Patel with perfect timing. Tony, the Tony. Tony as in the godfather of B4BCares.org, which I need to talk about that each time. You should remind me. Do you mind? We make notes and remind me to talk about B4BCares.org.
Yes.
So, Deep Patel, hi JJ, good to see you and Amanda. Question, we have till May 14th to decide to keep PPP ? When the clock kicks for 56 days to run payroll if someone received PPP on May 6th. So Deep Patel, I'm gonna mash together what Tony sent us, which was an article, and what it was talking about was if you're dealing with PPP, you don't want to go with asking for forgiveness at the end. That sounds funny, right? But you know that everybody has said forever and a day, right? Well, it's better to ask for forgiveness than to ask for permission. Well, not with PPP. Now, we know there's going to be a forgiveness calculation at the end, right? So it kind of sounds weird, like, well, what do you mean ask for forgiveness? I should ask for permission before I ask for forgiveness. This is why I've been harping, and I think this is part of why Tony sent me the article. And Tony's been great, because every time he sends me an article, he's like, man, what I'm inferring is, you already thought of this. You already been talking about this, JJ. But this is why you want to check with the bank on some of these things, because they're the ones making the decision. So if you're going and you think you're going to hit a guardrail on something, check with the bank. Now, I don't know how you hit a guardrail, because the PPP is kind of you're just hitting the golf ball straight down the middle of the fairway, right? If you're like, well, can I hit it over in the woods? Like, no, you can't hit it in the woods. You got to hit it straight away. So if you're thinking, well, does this IT expense count? Or even the question that someone had asked there, can I use the money to pay payroll even if part of it's not in the 56 days? But on this, okay, Deep Patel, yes, if you're going to return the PPP money, you have till on or before May 14th to do it. How I understand you return it is to the bank, and you need to return it, and they need to understand why you're returning it. You would need to return it all. So it's not all or nothing. It's not well, can I keep 25% of it for utilities? Now, here's the deal. Go talk to your bank. Your bank may say, oh, well, how come you're returning it? And you say, well, because these employees won't get off PUA, or whatever the case is. Or maybe we had someone that was asking that had an S Corp, because I've counseled a few people that if you got PPP money based on your K-1 from an S Corp, unless they give new guidance, that's not going to count, meaning you aren't going to have any forgivable qualified expenses. Now, the question here was, when the clock kicks for 56 days to run payroll, if someone received PPP on May 6th. So in terms of when does the clock kick, if I'm understanding Deep Patel, it would be May 6th. So I had said earlier, I think you probably heard, just the payroll that's going to be forgiven is the occurred period of the 56 days. Boom, it starts May 6th. And so if you're wanting to return it, you got to do it all by May 14th.
Before we can answer any other questions, we have 397
What?
people watching.
We have 397?
And only
Wow.
67 if you guys
Thumbs
could
up.
please hit that
Thumbs
thumbs
up.
up button, and if you are new here, make sure that you are subscribed.
Yeah, if you would. Oh, and I was talking with Ryan earlier today. I won't give away who Ryan is, but I was talking with Ryan, and he said you should tell your live listeners that if they haven't done it, they're subscribed, but if they put on notifications, they'll know when we go live.
Yep,
But
406 now.
406, thank you so much. And we popped up to 83 thumbs up. Thank you so much, Tara.
All right, so then we
And
can
Jean,
answer the
thank you
next
for that.
question. All right, our
Next question.
next question's from Justin.
Inferno.
I don't know if you told me you wanted to read this one or not.
Who is it from?
Justin.
Is it long?
No, it's about should I run from the CPA?
Oh, yes. Okay, so here's the deal. Justin sent an email, and Justin was visiting with, I guess, hiring a new CPA. And the CPA sounded like maybe a little accusatory on how they got PPP money. Actually, can I see that email really quick? Or did you already go to the next one?
No, I'm trying to reply to it.
Oh, okay. So, interviewed a new bookkeeper accountant firm yesterday, had an intro conversation with them yesterday, and I mentioned in passing that my business came to a screeching halt, but just signed my PPP docs this week. He says, and this is in all caps, "You got a PPP? How? Are you sure?" Well, let me tell you this. Yeah, why hire this person? Sounds like an ASS, okay? Come on, right? If for some reason I'm talking with somebody, let's say I was talking to somebody and they had an S Corp, I'd be like, wow, okay, well, let's talk about that because my understanding or my interpretation is this, and I would try and answer. This person's gonna be the one, no offense to them, but the indication I get on this is that this is gonna be the person that just, you come and ask a question like, no, you can't do that. Nope, the IRS won't allow it. Nope, that's an IRS audit flag, which is all BS, okay? I do feel like sometimes it's lazy when you're CPA, and I'm not even gonna say CPA. When whoever's doing your taxes, I think it's kind of lazy when they say, well, the IRS wouldn't like that, okay? Or they say, well, no, that's an audit flag. BS, there aren't audit flags, okay? What's an audit flag? You are a known drug dealer and you don't report any income, okay? What's an audit flag? You have a $100,000 loss on your Schedule C year after year after year, okay? What's an audit flag, okay? There aren't really audit flags in my opinion, okay? Maybe statistically something stands up, but I'll tell you this, all the audits that I've ever had, I always ask. There always have been random in 27 years. And are you ready for this? Because I'm going to knock really loud. Never in 27 years have I had an audit adjustment, okay? Never, not on a return that I've prepared. So right there, I'm just saying run. But said I applied and I listed one employee and I was approved, just signed through Cabbage, maxed out. For the loan, payroll only loan, and then said this person, Justin, saying, hey, is this a red flag that this firm didn't think that I qualify for PPP nor have possibly got it? Here's what I like about Justin, okay? Justin knows that he is in the right. Justin knows that he qualified. Justin knows that properly limited it to the 100K. So yes, you need to run. And you know what? I love your opening question. And well, I guess you just said it in passing, but I'm so glad that you did. In my book, I don't try and promote, but in my book at the beginning, I actually put in here kind of like 2 questions to ask if you're looking to hire a CPA EA, and if you're looking to hire a lawyer, and if you're looking to hire a banker. I say, here's the 2 questions to ask, and if you get these answers, then you know that they're qualified for what you do, okay? So, check out the book. All right, next question. Thank you, Justin.
This one is from Carol. Some banks are giving my clients a check rather than a direct deposit for the PPP funds. I have been using the direct deposit date as the start date, but what would you use when you were getting a check? Mini closing tomorrow by the end of the day, Friday.
Wow, great question. Yeah, you know, all the ones that I've had, it's been a direct deposit too. If they got the check, you know, it is on the disbursement date, not on the like receive date. If that, I think there would be a difference there. So I'm thinking check date on that. You could ask the bank, but I think it would be check date. Maybe check date plus 1 day, something to that effect. But I kind of feel like if they're really down to nitty gritty and someone's really reviewing and depending on SBA guidance, maybe that comes into play. But I would probably go with check date since you then have a date, assuming that they got it within a day or two. If some reason they got it within a week, right, then I would probably get the bank to acknowledge now or agree now that they will start the 56 days at an alternative date. Don't wait till the end, because the bank will be like, well, and you know, here's an interesting story. Okay, one of my best friends, okay, so I've got 2 wonderful best friends. I just call, you know, once you know someone like 23 years and you've been through everything and, you know, knew each other before your kids were born kind of thing. I mean, aren't they just an automatic best friend? You talk to them all the time. Anyways, I was talking with one of them and he said, hey, guess what? I just want to tell you. And it was the Friday before PPP2. It's like, hey, I left the bank and I'm going to a different bank. I was like, you dirty dog. You dirty, dirty dog. And I say that, my stepdad used to say that in a loving way. But I was like, you are going to get out of all the hassles of this forgiveness stuff from these clients. So why am I saying that? You could be in a circumstance, or your client, that the banker you're working with at the PPP application process isn't there or isn't in that division come forgiveness time. So while you're interacting with people right now and who you're interacting with, that's why I would get a letter and get some definite documentation of when that started. And I'll tell you this, I've read a number of articles by attorneys out there talking about PPP, and there's an underlining theme of documentation, documentation, documentation. So I think the key is that. Hey, thanks, great question there. Even though it's a small little technicality, great question.
Right. The next one is from Sang Young Kim, and you said you wanted to read this one.
Oh, okay.
It was long.
Thank you, God Dozer. God Dozer's saying, hey, promote it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Promote it.
Well, I
And
appreciate
you
that.
guys give a thumbs up. We got 427 of you beautiful
Wow.
people on.
Are you kidding
we
me?
would really love it if you hit a thumbs up. Whenever you hit thumbs up, it just bumps up the videos so other people can see the video, so then he can get new subscribers, and it's a way for you guys to give back for all the information that he's giving you for free.
Thank you, thank you. Hey, Ronald Gray, we have an email that's going to answer that question, and sorry for the circumstances that you're in, and I'm glad that you got caught up, and I got a really good answer for you. I think you'll be happy with that. Let's see, Craig and King LLW, Gene, Finders Keepers 102. Okay, and I see some unemployment questions there. We do have some good emails on this. All right, which one am I ringing? Oh, okay. So let's get to it. And by the way, Sang Young Kim, you wrote this beautifully, okay? I followed it the entire way. Sole proprietor without employees, so how can I make payroll on me? Here's how you do it. You take that line 31 that you used, right? And I'll tell you this right now, if everybody was here and we were in an auditorium, we could all say it together. We'd be like singing lyrics to a U2 song, right? Maybe a Poison song, Every Rose Has a Thorn, right? Something like that, maybe a little Kid Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We would.
Am I being too much today?
Oh gosh, no.
Okay, well, you were kind of looking down, like maybe you're giving me a hint,
No.
like I should bring it down a little.
Not at all. It's
Okay.
Friday.
Well, I'm just excited we have over 400 people
I
on.
know, 432.
So let's say it all together now. You would take line 31 of Schedule C divided by 52 times 8. And then boom, you can take it all at once because that's automatic forgiveness. This is part of the reason I wanted to read it, because then we could say it all at
Sing
once.
together?
Maybe another time. I might need to have about 3 more of those.
Inferno!
Inferno, everybody. If you don't know what we're doing with Inferno, I was on this Bad to the Bone radio show, sports talk radio, maybe. You need to go watch the video called Craziest Radio Interview Ever. And the show was called Inferno. Okay? So every time I say Inferno, everybody's got to take a little sip.
Little zippy sip.
Okay, so back to Sang Young Kim's. My business address is my home address. So that is that I can't use rent, mortgage, utility fees that I can for the forgiveness. And that is true. The SBA came out with guidelines on this specifically related to, I got 2 more. I got a C and a D. If you look on my website, jjthecpahelp.com, and for those that haven't gone to it, I promise there's no booby traps there. There's nothing to click. There's no like, give me your email and then I'll give you this. Everything in there is free. And I hate, when you use the word free, then people are suspect of it. Like, I don't even know what complimentary.
Yeah.
How about that?
Complimentary. There
Complimentary. It's like when you go to a fine restaurant and there's mints, right? They don't say these are free. They say these are complimentary. Or you sit down and the chef, this is how you know you're in an expensive restaurant. This is when you know you're getting ready to get killed at the end with the bill. When you sit down and your drinks arrive, and then like a minute or 2, they put something in front of you, which is usually something really gross, like fish or squid or something. Anyways, and they're like, compliments of the chef, right? So complimentary, compliments of the chef. What did we eat? We were in this small town in Oregon. We were traveling Oregon, doing my speaking tour.
Right.
We fly straight to Portland, 4 hours. For whatever reason, they have a direct flight from here to Portland.
Right.
Oklahoma City to Portland, right? It's probably the once a month straight line shot. Land in Portland. We drive then, 3.5 hours?
Yeah.
Okay.
At nighttime.
At nighttime, in mountains, right? And what was the first place we went to? Was it Medford?
Yes.
So we went to Medford.
Then
and
Roseburg.
And then Roseburg. But anyways, before we left Roseburg, there was this really neat fine Italian restaurant in this little town. So we're like, must be where the mafia goes, so it's got to be good. So, there's mafia in Oregon. Come on.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean,
yeah.
So anyways, we're eating at this fine restaurant. And what did they plop down in front of us? And you and I are like, we're not going to even ask what it is. Let's just eat it. I think we'd already had a glass of wine.
Was it calamari? No.
It was calamari.
Calamari.
Oh my gosh. That's right. We did know.
And I had never had that before.
Yeah, disgusting. It just, just swallowed it.
Because we were starving too.
Okay, so this is where, and I'm going to get back to the question, but that is where you had the drink that had cotton candy.
Oh, it was a cotton
on
candy.
top.
And it just.
Yeah, and then they poured the drink on top of it. It was really cool. I mean, it was clearly mafia. Well, and that was where, when we went in the summer, we thought it was a meth town.
Well,
It was right
Coos
next to the
Bay.
meth town.
Coos Bay.
Well, no. Let's not say, there might be people from Coos Bay. We don't want to insult them, even though we checked.
Will have to tell you
We
guys
checked
what
into
happened.
this. We checked into this. This was in the summer. We checked into this like little condo,
Our
so to
first
speak.
time to ever
There was
use
dog hair
VRBO.
on the couch. Say it again.
It was our first time to ever use VRBO or whatever that is. And we were like, oh, we're going to get in this cute little cabin and it's going to be right next to the water and it's going to be so romantic. Like, guys, we would have
There's
been...
food left in the refrigerator.
We would have been
We're gonna
murdered.
get killed.
We
were
would have
getting
been
murdered.
murdered that night.
We were
would
gonna
have
get
never
murdered.
met us.
Inferno. Okay. Oregon. Fine Italian restaurant. Complimentary. I'm trying to work it back. Where was I going with this?
I don't know.
Complimentary.
Mints.
Free. I know exactly where I was going. So go to my website, jjthecpahelp.com, because I give complimentary worksheets. And you will see here, Sang Yong Kim. Sang Yong Kim's like, you're still answering my question?
Yeah.
You will find the answer because I've got a list, so go there, of all the self-employed deductions that will count, because there's a couple of weird ones in there, like the gas you use for your business if you rent something out. But what will not count so far is they wanted to know, can they write off their mortgage interest or utility fees from their house, because that is where they're conducting the business, and unfortunately the answer is no. They also want to know, which is a good one, right? Sole proprietor, can I hire my wife and make payroll in 8 weeks? And the answer is no, is that your wife wasn't already on payroll. And by the way, you wouldn't be able to put her on payroll if you're a sole proprietor. IRS does not allow it. D, or just pay back with principal and interest over 24 months or 18 months. Please advise me ASAP. I appreciate it. So yes, basically, if you don't have any of the other expenses, you're going to take line 31 divided by 52 times 8, and the rest will need to go back. Do you mind if I share? You don't even know what I'm going to share. So Amanda has a sole proprietorship. Now she has a single member LLC as a sole proprietorship. Why? I don't need to tell you why. Her CPA is in the know. Thank you. But I told Amanda, I said, when you get your PPP, line 31 divided by 52 times 8, might as well just leave the money in the account that the bank put it in, and you're just paying it back. The bank can take it probably at any time. We could probably just tell Jason, just sweep it back, because you don't have anything else. Maybe you'll have $24 in gas or something like that, but I don't know if it's worth it.
Right.
All right, next email, but before that, Inferno.
Curtis Harvey CPA says, hey guys, sorry I'm late to the party today, but I wanted to let you know that the last of my clients who applied for PPP was funded yesterday. Also, I received your book in the mail today.
Aww.
Cheers.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I love it when anybody gets my book. It's a total honor. It, as you would say, it melts me. And then when a CPA gets my book, because when I first wrote the book, when I was doing seminars, I don't know why I did this, but when I was doing seminars, talking to CPAs, I would tell them, I'd say, hey, I wrote this book, JJ the CPA. And it was just a way to bring something up, and we usually give away a book. Right. Book or two. Anyways, I just tell people, hey, I wrote a book, and it's just a fun way to break up, have a little conversation. And but I don't know why I said it. Usually I was like, it's maybe not really meant for CPAs, but you know what? I think it is. And the only reason why I would say, I think CPAs would like this is that in some ways they're going to be like, you mean another CPA got that same question? How did he answer that? Because I answered it this way. That's what I think CPAs would like out of it. But I will tell you this, there were some crowds, okay, when we were on our speaking tour. So we've traveled around, over 50 cities in about 18 months? Uh-huh. I guess now it'd be about 20 months. About 50 cities. Yep. Awesome. Anyways, you're meeting CPAs from around the nation, right? They're different personalities, from Casper, Wyoming, to Fort Collins, to Seattle, to Georgia, Atlanta, to New York, to Fishkill, to Phoenix. And I'll tell you this, first and foremost, we've always got it wrong. We were like, oh, this is going to be a tough, I better bring it today. New Jersey, right? Mm-hmm. They were the best crowd we've ever had. Yeah. Now, Tennessee, maybe. Yeah. Tennessee. Probably because Tennessee's like 500.
Tennessee.
Anyways, I was just going to tell you that there were some crowds, and usually it was a crowd of then 10, because I get paid the same. I didn't even bring it out. Yeah. We showed up in Roseburg, Oregon. Oh, Lord. And the lady's dropping F-bombs. The CPA in charge of the sign up, she's dropping F-bombs. And anyways, long story short, thank you for getting my book, fellow CPA. What's our other question? Inferno. Hey, who just joined us? See, Mike Fisher, received my book. Thank you so much, Mike. I really appreciate that.
And
And
he said
again,
it was a great read.
thank you. And hopefully it was a quick read because it had the font and spacing for any
Right.
good God-fearing great grandmother or grandfather.
Bigger than mine.
That's it. Well, and I love line 31, God Dozer says. And Amanda rocks, because she rocks, says God Dozer.
You're so sweet.
And then, can partnership deduct utility and mortgage for percentage of square footage of home? Song, no. Oh, song's on.
Oh, awesome.
Hey, how are you? So anyways, if you're just joining us, I was on this crazy radio interview. I've been on a lot of radio interviews, so I want you to go check out this video when we're done tonight. Need a little entertainment because I filmed it. I don't even know why I filmed it, Amanda. It was just a fluke. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to film this thing. And it was just, I'm trying to do some different video content. And I'm so glad I did. So in this one, I usually don't put words up because people don't like that. But I put words up like what I was thinking at the moment or at the second, what they're saying. They're talking about sushi rolls on a stick. Mm-hmm. And it turns out the whole show, nope, you need to watch the video. Anyways, the show was called Inferno. So every time we say Inferno, or anytime, it was Daniel. What's up? Don't we have Daniel's email? Maybe?
I'm going through the live ones that we selected.
Yeah, I thought I selected one that we got from Daniel. No?
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyways, Daniel, listen. We're celebrating the Dodgers today. Everybody's a Dodger fan today, okay? They're not playing anybody, so it doesn't matter. Everybody's a Dodger fan. I bleed Dodger blue. Why does that even matter? How does it have anything to do with the Inferno drinking game, which, for all you know, it's just cranberry juice, okay? I did some comments for the news talking about the Dodgers and MLB and statistics and PPP and the LA Lakers, and it got me on this crazy #1 radio station in Dallas-Fort Worth radio show. Roll back to maybe 45 minutes in. Went live with them on this live. It was pretty cool. And I was so glad they were complimentary.
Yeah, that was awesome. You did a great job.
Well,
481 people
What?
watching. So
Are you kidding? Thank you so much. This is freaking awesome.
117
What?
thumbs up. So
Hey,
if you
thanks for the
please
thumbs up.
Give those some more lovings. We would really appreciate that. Our next question's coming from Joshua. Saw your office live yesterday.
Thank you.
And it's amazing. Good for
Thank you. I feel lucky. So go watch the video. I'm gonna interrupt. Joshua, thank you for teeing this up for me. I'm trying different videos because here's my worry. I don't know if you call it a worry, but here's my concern. Is that when we're done with PPP, I don't want people to be done with JJ the CPA.
Of course.
Because there's more to me. I got more ideas. I got more thoughts. I got more suggestions. And it's not even to sell them per se, but it's got a lot to share. Good. Terry D'Angelo said, won't be done. Oh, yeah. And then you told him I'm doing a children's book?
That's
You did.
not you. That's I. Or both of us. No, I was telling God Dozer that he needs to write a kid's book.
Oh, God Dozer does.
It's about dozers.
So Joshua, I'm glad you brought that up because I'm trying stuff that's new. I'm just seeing what do people like? And I've gotten strong that I don't get my feelings hurt when people give me thumbs down anymore.
That's right.
Because I've read a number of articles. I visited with my counselor about it. Just kidding. I visited with you about it a lot.
Yeah.
Why would somebody give me a thumbs down? What a mean person.
And I told him exactly why. So he's better now.
Anyways, Joshua, I'm glad that you brought this up. It's like Groundhog's Day. The reason that I'm glad that you brought it up and I'm talking about new and different content is that I'm trying to come up with new series. Okay, so I got one that's coming out this weekend and it's called 1, 2, 3, Learning with JJ the CPA. And it's talking about concepts like how do you come up with your pricing if you're in the service business, really think through the numbers versus emotion. So anyways, I got 1, 2, 3, learning with JJ the CPA. Doesn't rhyme, I don't care. But 1, 2, 3, if you see that, you're like, oh, I know what that is. And then I'm gonna have JJ the CPA 24/7. And the 24/7 is like just random stuff throughout the day. And so go check out that video. There's JJ the CPA 24/7. It'll always have the Tiffany blue, because I love Tiffany's. And it'll just be random stuff throughout the day. But the random stuff won't be dumb stuff. Like today's random stuff was, I think I've got like 4 phone calls with clients on there. You don't know who the client is. But like one minute with a client talking about refinancing their business and home loans. And then when I give you a snippet and then I talk about it for a minute. Another one was talking about the pricing, like led to the other one. Talked about what I was talking about with the banker. So the 24/7 would just be stuff that I'm dealing with clients all day, not goofy stuff. So anyways, that's JJ the CPA 24/7. And then why Tiffany blue?
You love Tiffany's.
Because I love Tiffany's. Every year, okay, I give out Tiffany gifts to my clients. So I mean, like I buy up a ton of them and then we hand deliver them, and you know the Tiffany bag, you know, the Tiffany bag, and it has a Tiffany box and a Tiffany bow and the Tiffany card. And especially the ladies, like they don't even care about what's inside of it. Like they just want the Tiffany box.
Tiffany boxes are powerful.
Because like when I go around to clients' offices, there's the Tiffany box on the shelf, right? There's the Tiffany box, and for some of them, there's like 3 or 4 of them.
Daniel, the CPA says, I hope my clients are not watching this right now.
Hey, little secret on that, Daniel. Let me tell you this, and Daniel probably knows this, but when I give out my Tiffany gifts, I give them to anybody that I deal with at the firm. I don't give them to all their employees. So, you know, Starla or Betty, right? So they don't own the firm, but I'm working with them. So they're their, you know, the firm administrator that I interact with and schedule with, and they write my check. They may not sign it, or, you know, Starla's the, I guess kind of the same thing, firm administrator. But I always include them as a team. And I learned that from my grandfather. He said, you know, when you get hired by a client, pay attention to who also they put in front of you. And when you're in a meeting with them, talk to them as well as the owners. Obviously, you know the owners are going to make decisions. Make sure you don't blur the lines and that there's some conflict of interest. No, you can't take them on as a client because you have a conflict of interest. But always pay respect to those that your client is clearly respecting to include in meetings or information. So anyways, they always get the Tiffany gifts. And I can tell you this right now, there's a few of them. I'm like, what do you need a Tiffany gift for, Todd? You know, Betty's getting the Tiffany gift because I got you this instead.
Right.
Right? So anyways, and then the Tiffany blue, right? So I usually get you things from Tiffany
You do.
on the
Very
special
much so.
on the special dates.
Yes.
And it's like a plus, right? Because you give a Tiffany box and it's almost like everybody's
Exactly.
inferno. Did I answer all
Inferno.
those questions?
No, we didn't even answer a question from Joshua.
Oh, what was Joshua? I'm glad that you asked and teed that up.
Yes.
What's Joshua's question?
I have no employees, all are 1099. Can I just keep all the PPP for me instead of 75% and 25% for rent? Much easier, I think. You're awesome.
Well, I appreciate that. So if you pay yourself wages, right? So it would be an S Corp, C Corp, then 75% for you. But I guess you'd have to be based on your wages. And then the 25% is for the other. I don't think you'd be able to pay anything more than what you were paying. If you're sole proprietor, you ready? If you're sole proprietor, Joshua, you already know this. Line 31 divided by 52 times 8. You can take it as a lump sum, so to speak, or that's your automatic forgiveness. But I don't think there's a way that I can think of that it'll be automatic to you. And then the 1099s, I'm a little concerned in your question because if you paid people 1099s, that wasn't supposed to be included. Your bank may have thought that was the case, but it's not. So anyways, maybe email me again, a little more details, my friend. I wanna give you a complete answer on that.
Okay, our next question.
Hey, real quick, we had Hannah Alley. So if it's a Schedule C, okay, sole proprietor, self-employed, Schedule C, it's line 31 divided by 52 times 8. If this is on W-2 wages, then it's 75% at least for forgiveness. I can show this part of the note.
Yep, we can. I was Googling because Tony's like, have you seen the Tiffany Moon Cake Box? And I haven't seen that, so I want to go see it. All right.
Putting thoughts in her head.
Our next one is
that in
from
Hawaii.
from Doug.
What's up, Doug? Is Doug a CPA? No.
No.
Okay. Maybe I was thinking
I
of
have a
Doug.
friend who applied for the EIDL Sunday who didn't have an agriculture business, and this is the email he received. Just wanted to give you a heads up. Have a great day.
And I appreciate that. And we have we're going to announce them next week. So I can't bring it up. I can tell you this, though. One of the 4 businesses that we're working with, yep, we went to 4. We expanded it to 4 for what we're calling the reality show. I've put too much pressure on myself, but we are going to have it ready to go for next week. Mm-hmm. I put too much pressure on myself to like make it Bravo level, and it's just not going to happen.
Yep.
Anyways, I'm going to read it to you because they did the same thing, and I have a video on. I'm like, hey, go apply. I mean, it's open, and the reason I say go apply for the EIDL is that when you go to apply, it says, are you an employer less than 500 employees? And then another that has nothing to do with agricultural, and then one related to agricultural. So I was like, well, apply, and then maybe you're in line after the agricultural gets their run, because clearly the SBA is going to know you're not agricultural because you didn't click the button. But they got the same one, so I'm going to go ahead and read it. So this is the response that they got, which I'm really impressed that the SBA is just on it. Dear applicant, you are receiving this message as notification that your EIDL advanced application will not be considered at this time. As of May 4th, new applications will only be accepted for agricultural businesses due to the availability of appropriations and the unprecedented number of applications SBA has already received for the EIDL. We recognize the challenges your business is facing due to the massive disruption caused by COVID-19 pandemic, and will try to assist in other ways. Information on the SBA resources can be found at boom boom. So that was a very nice email. I thought that was nice, and at least they know. I was hoping though that would just put them in line. It's almost like, you know, when you go to you know, like Disneyland or something like that, and you get in line, but the line's going to be, what was that?
Tell me how many people were on.
Oh, how many people we got on?
535.
What? 535. Thank you so much for joining us. If you've just joined us, I'm telling you this right now, we are doing a drinking game. So coffee counts, tea, water, Coke, Sprite, cranberry juice, okay? Or if you have a cocktail, if that's okay with you. But every time we say Inferno, okay, we are gonna have a sip. And Inferno, you gotta go watch. And if you've been on the whole time, thank you, I love you. And I'm sorry this is gonna be like the 5th time you've heard this, but you have got to go watch this video that I did. I spent a long time on it. I think we actually missed dinner because of it. But I've, for whatever reason, videoed myself on this crazy radio interview that I thought was a sports talk radio, which kinda it is. I prepared for the whole thing, and anyway, so I put up the video. It's 97.1 the Eagle Rocks JJ the CPA first sports interview. You have to check it out. I put graphics on it, meaning words, so you can know what their questions are, which was like, you know, why isn't sushi rolls on a stick? And I had a response for it.
Yeah, you did.
They talked about all kinds of stuff. And if you watch it, Amanda was even laughing because she didn't hear it while I was doing it. But, well, I'm giving away too much.
You are.
Thank you for joining us. I appreciate it. Hopefully you have something nice to drink that's appropriate. We don't ever want to cause anybody to drink something that they shouldn't.
That's right, because we're responsible people here.
We are responsible. We're
Right.
celebrating the Dodgers.
And this is from Greg. I know you have spoken about the PPP expenses not deductible, but same for EIDL expenses used?
You know, that is a freaking awesome question. What I'm telling you this right now, it has to be treated the same because the EIDL is absolutely a grant. What's the EIDL? The Economic Injury Disaster Loan. But the $10,000 amount, so let me be clear, if you get an EIDL, right, because you can get an amount above the 10 grand, or if you only got the 1,000 per employee, so you got 1,000 if you only had one employee. But if you borrow above the 10,000 advance, then that's a regular loan. So whatever you spend that money on, you're gonna be able to write off. But yes, on the EIDL, but I'm telling you this right now, I mean, I guess we'll wait to be seen, but here's how it's worked forever and a day, right? So I've been practicing 27 years, and here's how it's always worked. And I know it's always worked this way because I used to work for Jimmy Curtis Averett, okay? Averett. Sometimes he would even say his last name twice because he just liked to hear it, and he was like the coolest ever. So Jimmy Curtis Averett.
Bye, God Dozer.
Bye,
Have a
God
great
Dozer.
weekend.
Hey, thank you for this. We really appreciate it. You made my day,
Get
made
some
my
rest.
week. We love you. Get some rest. And hey, don't take any ibuprofen, okay? Just in case you have COVID, and I'm not kidding around, because they're saying that you shouldn't take ibuprofen with COVID. And I'm sure you don't have COVID, but don't take any ibuprofen. Take you some Tylenol. All right, so hey, have a good weekend. We'll see you Monday, hopefully. Okay, so if you are, we got a WTF from John Doe. Why am I here?
Nope, just ignore.
Sorry, John Doe. Anyways, Jimmy Curtis Averett told me back in the early days of becoming a CPA, and he was a partner at the CPA firm I worked with, that when people receive grant money, okay, it's not taxable, okay? This is not a new concept. But then when they spend it, those deductions are not deductible because they were using, in essence, free money. So the PPP, the EIDL, that concept has nothing to do with just PPP or EIDL. That's why I feel strongly that it's not going to end up being a deduction. Now, I'm a little surprised, and I mean, I hate to say it because I always want to respect those that are in government, right? And no matter what side of the aisle, they're trying to do their best, whether they have an agenda or not, who doesn't. But anyways, I'm almost kind of questioning the intelligence, and I hate to say it that way, of a few of these wonderful, fine, beautiful, smart, hardworking public servants that are in Congress when they're in there making arguments that are like, well, of course the IRS is going to interpret it this way because there's a precedence to this. This is how it's always been treated. So we got some hearts from somebody from some foreign language. Thank you so much for that. TNG. Let's see, Lion Imagery. What is the max you can pay yourself for PPP loan as an LLC? Hey, so Lion, how are you taxed? Are you 1065, 1120S? Are you a C Corp? Oh my gosh, what do we got here?
Just
What?
got that. Isn't that awesome?
Oh, and we got, oh my gosh.
They sent it to mine.
Oh my gosh, look at this. Look at, are we able to see it? Can we see that? Is that on Instagram?
Yep, it's on my Instagram.
Okay, can they see it? No, yes?
I'm waiting, it hasn't caught up.
Haven't
with
caught
me
up yet?
Yes.
Okay, cool, look at this. So, Habaneros. Gosh, I'm terrible. I'm just awful. Habaneros cigars. Come on, from Keystone, Miami, Florida. These are our friends. Got the book, JJ, the CPA here book. And they've got their hat on there and the cigar. Oh, and these are Arturo Fuentes?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, what? All right, well no. Those aren't Arturo
Are they
Fuentes.
not?
No, they can't tell. It's an H, I should know. I don't think it's an H Upman. It's a 20-year anniversary. Nice, well, tell them that we're coming to see them.
I will.
And it says Amanda Brewer. Oh no, you said that, Amanda Brewer rocks. All right, where was I? I was talking with somebody here. Oh, I wanted to know how you were taxed. Did you tell me? Let's see, Deep Patel, real quick. JJ, EIDL of 1,000 USD deposited by SBA. Now I'm missing EIDL loan of 10,000. Yes. Or is this 1,000 for one employee is the only amount we should expect? Yeah, it's the only amount you're going to get, Deep Patel. Sorry to say. Craig Thomas, what is the max we can pay ourselves as a sole P forgivable under PPP? It was funded 2 days ago.
Wow. What?
Are you going to tell them? They want to know what is the forgiveness for a Schedule C sole prop.
Oh, is that our song?
It's our song.
It's our song. It's line 31.
Divided by
Divided
52
by 52
times 8.
8.
Boom. Yeah, listen. Yeah, let us sing the song. Line 31. That's right. Oh, Tara Knight's got it. Inferno.
Woo-hoo!
Yep. All right, hey, we are live here, JJ the CPA with the Amanda, who's going to have her own announcements in a couple weeks.
Why we gotta wait that long?
Well, because next week we're doing the reality show.
I'm just.
We don't want to overshout it.
I'm on the back burner.
Okay, everybody, I want you to meet, if you haven't, Cooper Jenson, future MLB star. Cooper, say hey, everybody. We've got over 500 people on with us, right? 545 on a Friday afternoon.
Wow.
This is CJ, the CPA. Back when he was 5 years old, he wanted to have stitched on his shirts like I did, CJ, the CPA. And then we've got Blake, okay? We've got Blake who was drafted. He was drafted.
That's right.
Third round, MLB. We got Blake. You saw him here first, okay? And he decided to go to college instead because he likes school. I don't know if I agreed with that, but you know what? He made a good decision for himself. But whenever you go, I want you to know that I want to be your first endorsement. You know, JJ the CPA. Yeah. And you can wear the black right there. He can wear the black things that say JJ the CPA on. All right. You guys are going fishing?
Yeah, sure.
All right, man.
Cool, see you.
All right, thanks for jumping on camera with us. We appreciate it. Many people are saying hi, Cooper, hi, Blake, Glenda, and Terry, and Joshua Flores, and Gene. Go to the pros. Yes, Gene knows.
Try.
Gene knows.
Gene knows.
NBA, yo.
I know.
Serious.
Gene's impressive. You guys need to go look him up.
LinkedIn, come on now. Totally
Right.
awesome. Lewis Mantle, take the money. That's right, I agree. Right, Jason? I mean, it's like, man, you only live once.
This is from Daniel, the CPA.
Daniel, oh, perfect.
Remember?
Oh,
And,
this is a different Daniel that's on though.
is
No?
it different? Let me look here.
I thought. So Daniel writes.
Daniel D? Is it Daniel D?
Yeah. Well, this is Daniel.
Yeah, that's the same
Oh,
Daniel that's on.
sorry.
I was like, wait, am I like...
It's the Infernos. Okay. Inferno. Inferno. If you're driving,
573 people.
wow.
This is a record-breaking.
Someone needs to take a screenshot of this. Like, will you take a screenshot? Because I think this is our record. And so I remember Daniel's a fellow CPA. Daniel bought my book.
Oh, no.
I think I'm just remembering it's Daniel D, but I keep thinking of Daniel Day-Lewis. That's what I'm thinking of, Daniel. I'm not kidding around. I was thinking your name was Daniel Day-Lewis when I read this. And Daniel Day-Lewis. Oh, he's from New Jersey.
Yeah.
Hey, no, I don't know if we're scheduled in New Jersey.
We're not scheduled to.
We're not scheduled in New Jersey yet.
We're scheduled to go see Daniel.
We're going to go see Daniel. But I'll tell you what, in my comments when I did those seminars, they said, we need to have some JJ back here.
That's right.
So Daniel's bringing up the fact, and it's interesting because my fellow CPAs, EAs, tax pros, they know what I'm talking about, and it's kind of weird because here's the thing. What does any CPA, EA, tax pro want for their clients? Okay, they want them to have tax deductions. They want them to save taxes. So on the one hand, I was talking with Jim, who's one of my greatest friends in the CPA industry, if not just in general. Fellow CPA, started our careers together with Jimmy Curtis Averett. But what I was talking about in these other videos that I'm doing is that, okay, we're not going to be able to deduct what we spend the PPP on, this Paycheck Protection Program. Makes sense to me, right? I've talked about it before, but basically he has sent this great article talking about how Congress and IRS are fighting. I understand that Congress rules, IRS, Congress tells IRS, and the IRS is there to interpret what Congress tells the IRS. But I hate to say it, because why wouldn't I want my clients to get a deduction for the free money that they got, even though it's completely unfair to anybody else that did not get PPP, right? But anyways, those in Congress, not all of them, are in there acting like and pointing their finger at and making the IRS look bad, okay? And I've never had an issue with the IRS, and so most people would think, they're the enemy, they're terrible people. They are not. They're coaches and parents and brothers and sisters and people's, children. My point is that I don't appreciate how Congress is going about this, okay? Total political, they think they're getting popular. They're showing they are, and I've never said this ever, because I have friends and clients that are in and were the highest level of government, and they would never be in this category. But it's like on this one area, congressman, okay, that's not from Oklahoma, I'm literally questioning your intelligence, okay? So just start with this. How do you even book it? Because the CPAs that were like, well, how do you even book this if it's not a loan, right? If it's a capital contribution. So I've got a video where I talk about this. And for those of you that have heard too much about taxes, let's take a break, because this show's brought to you by Inferno. And anybody that's listening that's in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, thank you for joining us. I would love it if you would check out the video that's about my interview on 97.1, The Eagle Rocks in Dallas-Fort Worth, #1 show, right? Brian and Skin. So really at the end of the day, when you're talking about PPP money, it's free money. It's free money. Can you not just be thankful enough for that, Congress? Can you not just pat your own self on the back? Because here's the problem, Congress. Now, this sounds weird for a CPA to say. Here's the problem, Congress. You already gave away all these trillions, and I'll just tell you, I'm not going to tell you what side of the aisle I'm on or vote for. You could probably guess, but nonetheless, the Speaker of the House has been making a good point. I don't know that I always agree with the Speaker of the House. I can't think of the last time I agreed with the Speaker of the House, but the Speaker of the House is saying, listen, we're like leveraging our children's future here, which is usually a political statement, but in this case, it's probably true, because here's the deal. That's tax dollars, okay, that were used to pay payroll with no taxation, and now if we allow those businesses to get the deduction, that's less taxes that are going to the government. And for me, this is the one part. So would the NCAA, what is it? What is it? Dang it. What is it called? The AICL? No, dang it, ACLU? ACLU. Who's the who's the legal organization that, like, kind of no matter what, they're going to stand up for the Constitution?
Yes.
Like, even if it seems totally controversial. Jack, what's up? Mickety Mac agreed, very political. Alyssa, Inferno. She's right, I said Inferno. I didn't take a drink. When is the PPP loan deadline? Now. They're about to ready. They're going to run out, Jay.
The ACLU?
ACLU. I mean, how does the ACLU not stand in on or step in on this one? Because how un-American, how discriminatory is that those that got with the right bank, okay, that won the PPP lottery, and I know that more and more people are getting it, they are the ones that got the capital investment from the American government? Because that's what they're calling it. They're saying that the CARES Act, that the PPP funds was a capital investment into the American business. Okay, that sounds good on paper, but now I'm furious on behalf of all the businesses that didn't think they should get, or, you know, even small business, like, you know what, I'm not going to take that. You know, I don't need it, or I've got plenty of money in the bank, and I'm not even saying they're better than anyone. But the ones that said, you know what, we're doing okay, we don't need it, right? They don't get the capital investment, right? If there was a capital investment by the United States of America, and I'm going to be mad if they do that, but only on behalf of the businesses that didn't get PPP. And I'm going to be the one that's going to be raising Cain that now the government needs to cough up money to every single business, period, the end, regardless of their payroll, regardless if you're a S Corp or a partnership, and you better cough up because you need to make a capital investment in every business. That's completely un-American. And that's the part that I'm going, kind of question your intelligence there, Congressman, Congresswoman, whoever you are. I don't even know what name they are. But, like, are you serious? So what you're saying is you are a congressperson that practices discrimination, that you are un-American, okay? And why am I saying this? Okay, cool. Let's say it's a capital contribution. Sweet. My clients that got the money, they're going to get the deduction. Boom, touchdown, grand slam. Here we go. Everything was won. All the marbles were put in, and those clients are going to win big time. But if it's a capital contribution, then every freaking small business of some size absolutely needs to get that money, period, the end. And then here's my last comment. But before I do that, okay, TNG's raising a glass, okay? I know you're over there, you're working. I can see you.
No,
you got your glasses on, you're working.
No, I'm talking to my son.
Oh yeah, you got senior pictures
we're
tonight.
Be leaving soon, so.
Okay, so that means we got to wrap up here shortly. So we're going to be wrapping up. Amanda's son is graduating high school, which we don't really know the exact date of that other than it somehow happened.
Oh, I mean, he'll be officially done with high school on May 13th.
Oh, well, you didn't tell me. Yeah. Love it.
Yes.
Anyways, doing senior pictures
Yes.
tonight, so we've got to wrap up here shortly. But if you're making a capital investment into anything, right? Any of you that you're like, you know what? I think I'm gonna make a capital investment into that company over there. Well, you would never in a million years say to that business, hey, what's your payroll? Because take whatever it is, divide it by 12, take it times 2.5, boom, I'm gonna send you some money, I'm capital invested. What? You would make a capital investment based on other factors, okay? And those factors would not be based on one expense, right? Which was just payroll and the related benefits. So anyways, bottom line is that I would love it if our clients got to deduct whatever it is they got on free money. But how does that really work? Because it's less tax. It's never worked that way before with grants. I mean, that's kind of a new precedence. It's almost like, okay, because I have a client, I have one that they're getting grants. So it's like, okay, well then can we deduct the expenses? All right, so Elizabeth says hello. And let's see, Arshad must video. I'm not sure what BHSI is. Hopefully it's something good. Alyssa, happy Mother's Day to you, Amanda. That's right.
Yes.
Sir, what is the treatment of previous year's proposed dividend in the cash flow statement? Goodness, Vanish, you have to send me an email and give me a little more info. I am not sure what it is that you're relying on. Oh, Mickety Mac got it. American Civil Liberties Union. Wouldn't that be interesting? And I'm not even saying it, but I don't know that the American Civil Liberties Union ever put together a lawsuit that would represent every small business in America that they were unfairly treated. So Elizabeth says, Happy Mother's Day. Hannah, how does EIDL affect the PPP forgiveness? Use the EIDL for what you don't use PPP for. Boom. You don't have to pay it back and it'll have no effect. And all right, so let's go with what we got. Let's hurry and buzz through, if that's even possible.
This one is from Beth.
Inferno, okay?
Aloha JJ, one of my clients are a nonprofit 501c3. They were approved for the PPP and received the funds. They were approved based on their 2019 Form 1096, and all of the 1099s that were issued were submitted to them. The loan amount was based...
No, keep going. I'm just saying, this is a big foul.
The loan amount was based on the Form 1096 as the total payroll cost divided by 12 times 2.5. Now the bank says that we probably slipped between the cracks and should not have been approved with no employees.
True.
So now what? Do we give the money back? Can we just start running payroll, go from 0 employees to 3 employees, for example? Thanks.
Beth, people are going to jail over that. I'm not even kidding. Look in the New England states. Okay, I don't know what the other circumstances are, but the FBI put 2 different business owners in the inferno, okay? Like the show we were on, put them straight into the inferno. And if you're kind of reading between the lines on it, is that they were falsely taking these loans not based on payroll, which leads you to believe it would be based on 1099s. So like I would treat it, Beth, like they robbed that bank, okay? I mean, I'm not even kidding around. Like the FBI will literally get involved. And it's not even an overstatement. It's not. Because right now they know without a doubt that business, you know this, right, Beth? They had no wages. They know it, right? Because that's how, in essence, they're catching some of these companies, is that it's this simple for them to run an EIN check, right? And in about 3 seconds, even see if the business has wages. That quick, right? Boom, no wages, going to jail. Because the mindset here is if you keep that, and especially if you know you got it incorrectly, okay? Now that's where that's where the government would say, okay, that's where the crime was committed. So it's not just, hey, I went to the back of the ATM, I found out that it was open, so I went ahead and grabbed some of the dollars because no one said that I couldn't. So I grabbed me $500, ran home, no one caught me, and so now what do? Return the $500 because you never should have got it first. So I can't even stress enough, like you should fire that client if they don't do it immediately, because you might be an accessory to that, the fact that you got an email on it. I'm not even overstating it. People are getting arrested. People are being charged with a crime that had wages, okay? Literally, executives are being charged with a crime that had wages, and the crime being that their business was considered not truly at risk, and they took the money, a crime. And it's a felony, right? So like immediately and with apologies, return that money. I mean, seriously, it's no joke on that. What was Beth's other question?
You mean the other email?
Oh, yeah. Wasn't there another email from Beth?
Yeah. One of my clients has 2 employees on the FFCRA since...
Hang on. Carol's got a good question. Yeah, it's the bank's fault, but once the bank's informed the client, now it's the client's fault. So don't get me wrong. What I'm getting at is that if they hurry and return the money, it's like, oh shoot, we got it incorrectly, we weren't aware, the bank wasn't aware, they slipped through the cracks, ollie oxen free, here you go. But there wouldn't be an excuse at all when the federal government comes and says, why did you keep the money? It's like, well, but it was the bank's fault, so I got it, so I'm keeping it. So that's why, because now the bank kind of passed the buck properly so, but they passed the buck to the client. And so anyways, that client needs to get it back ASAP. I'm sorry, start over on Beth's question. Is that okay? What time you got to scoot? For pictures, Amanda's got to go, and I'm not going because I don't want to embarrass her son, but because he's kind of got these, like, it's going to be the most unusual senior pictures ever.
Yeah, that's why we're doing them so late.
Yeah.
So I'm leaving here at 6:30.
Okay. Wow, she's cutting it close. She never cuts it close. Shows up everywhere 15 minutes early. So I can already tell you're stressed. But you're doing it for everybody that's here.
Yeah.
And we have 514. Thank you so much for joining us. For those of you that's the first time, you're like, what in the hell is going on here? Stay tuned because it gets better. We go live Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 4 p.m. CDT. We got Beth's other question.
Okay.
I'll hush.
One of my clients has 2 employees on the FFCRA since they have school-aged children at home and they need to be there with them, and their particular job can't be done from home. Now my client has been approved and has received her funds for the PPP. We want to make sure we get as much forgiven as possible. Since the FFCRA can be intermediate between April 1st and December 31st, can my client put them back on the regular payroll, or should we leave it as is and just not include their gross wages in the PPP forgiveness calculation?
Now we're talking about sick leave, or did she say what credits? Because she referred to the
FFCRA?
Yeah. So here's the deal on that. Yes, you can. And actually the law in 1102 addresses that. And the way that it addresses it is it indicates that if you do take those credits, then those credits don't count as part of the payroll costs. So the answer is yes. There must be some math working there for you. Carol, the problem here is that Carol's got another question related to that. So here's the deal. I mean, then keep the money. The problem is that there'll be nothing that leads to a forgivable amount. So, if someone wants to keep the money and they're going to say it's the bank's fault, I guarantee they're going to be literally in legal trouble. So they can keep the money, and then 10 weeks from now, they're going to get slapped upside their head because there's no way when the bank even says you've slipped through the cracks. The bank didn't approve it, okay? The SBA approved it, but then the SBA is going to come and say, well, you did this fraudulently because and you all know this, there's no documents that are submitted with the application. So it'd be kind of the same as somebody just jots down a number, pick it out of the air, they put it in, bank runs it through, SBA approves it, and then they come back and they're like, haha, you guys approved it, see ya, I'm out of here. It's fraud. Now, is it fraud right now? I don't think so. But is it fraud when you've then been made aware that you shouldn't have received it, right? So you can go with the argument that you approved it, but right now, the federal government, the FBI, the SBA, the U.S. Treasury, okay, hear this, Carol, if you would. They're telling businesses right now to return the money that actually got it properly, because if they come back and show that you were not actually in some kind of financial issues when it comes to forgiveness, they're going to charge you with a crime. They've already said that, okay? Just go look, just Google it, U.S. Treasury, okay? They're saying by May 14th, you need to return the money even if you had wages and you did it properly in your calculation, but you were not at economic risk. Even as a look back, you maybe thought you were at economic risk. The U.S. Treasury and the SBA is saying, if now is a look back, you're not at risk, you need to return the money, 100% of it, even if you got it properly. So, Carol, I really appreciate it. I'm not gonna keep arguing with you because I love you. Just know this, I've made my position, okay? And whoever's keeping that money, they've committed a crime, basically, if they don't return it by May 14th. And it sounds so strong, but the FBI's, this is the part I don't get. FBI has arrested people. People are going to jail, and then we're still having discussions on, well, but this, and then they did this, and oh no, this, and okay, is that what you're gonna say when you're getting booked and headed downtown? The only reason I'm saying it like this is that if someone knows they did something wrong and now they're trying to figure out a way to justify it and keep the money, my urgency on that is, but you're going to get in trouble. Like, it's impossible that you don't get in trouble, because you have to go back before the bank, which means you're going back before the SBA in like 10 weeks. And what are you going to go back with? You're going to go back with, the bank approved it. Here's my 1096. So what? I got 2 years to pay it back. They're not going to do that. I mean, it's been taken advantage of so badly, now the U.S. Treasury and the SBA. So what I want to hear, I want everybody to know here, is that Carol's awesome, and Carol's asking good questions. And when you're being challenged, it's good, because then we're working through the issues, right?
Absolutely.
Anybody can disagree, but the reason I'm concerned about the disagreement in this is that somebody will be literally in trouble. This is with the federal government. This is a felony, and it's nothing to mess around with. When they're telling companies that even got $5,000 or $20,000, you better return the money by May 14th, because if we think you did not even deserve it, okay, meaning you properly filled out the application, okay, then you're in a situation where they're saying you're wrong. Carol, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to use the word. Carol's freaking awesome. She's here all the time.
She is.
And I'm loving it, because Carol's bringing up a great point, because a lot of people are saying this. It's like, well, it's the bank's fault.
Yeah.
Is it, is it okay? And so really what it comes down to is the end result. But what I would do, I mean, I fired a client the other night, because I was just like, you've already documented too much in this email about how you want to skirt the system. You're telling me you want me to prepare this form and that form, and you'll pay me double work, but you can then just submit this form to the government when you know you're going to file this form. I was like, I'm out. You're done. You're fired, right? No client's worth it. I don't care how big they are, because that client's bringing you down. So the federal government's pissed right now. They're pissed, okay? Don't mess with them on this one, and there's no way out of it. So Carol, thank you so much. And that's why I was saying, we love Carol. Carol's on here all the time. And I really appreciate the challenge on it, and that's why I want to keep coming back to it. So we'll have to answer the rest of the emails another day. And my understanding is that in closing, okay, that it is Mother's Day on Monday.
On Sunday.
Sunday. Why did I say Monday? Too many sips of Inferno. Carol, a little Inferno for Carol. I love it. For Carol. Boom. Hey, you know what I'm going to say to also for Carol and the CPAs out there? Remember this. I've got a video came out today at noon for CPAs, EAs, tax pros. Remember this. We don't want to get too caught up in convincing. Okay, Carol, I love you. And even if you didn't agree with me, I love you. Have we sent Carol anything? We have. Have we sent her a book?
I do believe so. I believe Carol.
Have you sent her one of your books?
I think so.
Okay, well, we need to send Carol something.
Carol, what did you receive?
Carol, we're sending you something. We don't know what it is
Bye,
yet,
Hannah.
but we want to send you something. Hannah, what was your question? Hannah had a question.
Hannah said this was great. Have a great weekend.
Okay, well, but Hannah had a question that I wanted to answer. Carol, thank you so much. But to CPAs, EAs, tax pros, real quick, we don't want to get too caught up in this, because remember this, if we tell them they can or they can't, now we're the ones that are going to be held accountable as well. So even though the clients are coming to us, this is how I've told some of my clients. I'm like, you know what? I mean, it'd be like you bringing the x-ray from your dentist and saying, listen, the dentist says right here, I've got a cavity. What do you think? I'd be like, what? How do I know? So be careful, because what are we doing for our clients? Bookkeeping, tax work, you know what I'm saying? So, all right, hey, all right, so yes, Carol's leading the way. Happy Mother's Day to everybody. And thanks for tuning in. We'll be back Monday. Allergic to alcohol. We'll be back Monday. We're doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 4 p.m.
Yes.
Central Daylight Time. And every day it's a little bit something new. We are celebrating the Dodgers today, which everybody's a Dodgers fan today. Why? Because they're not even playing. So
Exactly.
Who wouldn't want to be a Dodgers fan? And the reason we're a Dodgers fan is that we want to say thank you to 97.1, the Eagle Rocks in Dallas, Fort Worth. And
Appreciate you,
yeah,
Jane.
thank you so much. Oh, Maria Lee, MLB. Cheers to all the moms out there. Ronald, Hannah. Let's see. So it's separate PPP. My question was if I use 1K advance towards, quarterly taxes. Yes, thank you for asking. Actually, you can use it for whatever you want as long as it's related to the business, but the estimated taxes, it feels like it's related to the business, but it's not. So technically, no. But right, you take your 1,000, use it for other business expenses, if that makes sense. So you just won't be able to use it directly. If it goes in the pot, I don't really know how it's all like traced anyways, Hannah. So long story short, you don't have to pay it back, but you at least want to show that you had 1,000 worth of business expenses after you got the 1,000. Hannah, thanks for sticking around and letting us know. Let's see, Nancy H. Thumbs up before you leave. Yes, thank you. John Hamilton, you have a great weekend too. We got
Thank you, Tony.
Carla.
Thank you, Terry.
Yes, and
Love
Carol.
you guys.
Thank you, Carol. I love it. I love it. And Wissam, first of all, thank you so much for the great personal. I need a copy of your book, please. Oh, well, hey, I appreciate that. If it's okay, I'll tell you this. There's if you go down in the body, I've put it as low as I can. You can get it on Amazon, but in the body of this, you'll find a link to that. So I really, really, really appreciate that. Jane! All right, yep, Amanda, the professional speaker. Gene, let me tell you this. I pumped up Amanda because that's part of the the unveil in a couple of weeks. I was pumping her up and I was quoting you, the professional speaker. We'll leave it at that. All right, Hannah, yes, good. Tony, thanks, guys. JJ, give Amanda a great Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day, Amanda. See you all Monday for Coach's Corner. Oh, hey, thank you for that, Tony. I really appreciate that. I'm going with that. Coach's Corner.
Coach's Corner.
I got a new series now.
I love it.
A weekly series called Coach's Corner. Oh, goodness. Songgong, good to see you. Thank you, Ronald Gray. Oh, pinch hitter, professional organizing. I love it. Thank you so much for joining us. Mike, have a great weekend. I really appreciate you. Oh, shoot, it just dropped down. Let's see. Oh, the payroll taxes are not included there.
Thank you,
Doll Zinc. And they should have been Doll Zinc. It's ridiculous that they're not, but they're not. Let's see. Loyal Logic. Let's see. Who got 40K and they only make 100. Yeah. They probably need to return it. So let them know. They got till May 14th.
Have a good weekend, Candace.
Yes, thank you so much. Let's see, King LLW, extension unlimited safe harbor with respect to certification concerning need for PPP loan request 5820. I guess that's something I need to read. Maybe you're referring to that, so I appreciate it. I will take a look at that. I guess there's something that came out today, so thanks for the heads up there, King LLW. Let's see, JJ, I thought EIDL Advance will reduce the proteins. You know what? Here's the deal. If you got the EIDL, great question. If you got the EIDL after April 3rd, it doesn't. There was different provisions from January 31st through April 3rd, and then it affects it, and it should have been on the loan forgiveness. So Jen must have been someone who's been watching our videos for a long time, so thank you so much for that. And I've had some other videos. I've got so many videos now. I know that you can't see them all, but everything that I had talked about with EIDL, with PPP, April 3rd before, treated differently than after, so that $1,000. So just use them separate purposes and then you're good. Thank you, Jen, for asking that.
Thank you so much for saying that. PB is very, 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 very sweet. Thank you.
What'd PB say?
He said, Amanda, you are mother of all. Those of us that need you. JJ the CPA is a lucky guy.
Aw, thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see, we got Millie, have a great weekend. Alyssa, thank you for another great live. Well, thank you. Gosh, you've been here so long. Have a great weekend. Happy Mother's Day for those that are mothers. Carol, I enjoy all the info you give. Carol, send us an email. We want to get you some stuff. We need to have Carol, when we come out with the next merch, does Carol have a The Amanda shirt? Carol,
I don't think so.
You know what? If you don't mind, send us an email because we have like 2,000 in there. We could probably find your previous one, but we want to send you something because you are awesome. Loyal Logic. Have you heard of anybody getting a loan for the disaster relief yet? My friend did, but he applied in March. when it was a selected cities. Oh, I hadn't heard about the selected city. Loyal, I have. Loyal Logic, I have. Check with the SBA if you're talking about above the 10 grand. Go to one of those lenders. All right, Christy,
Maria,
Ashley.
Maria, we're not going to get carried away.
Okay.
There's no Amanda show. It's just JJ and CPA.
I love it. I love it. I appreciate that, Amanda, because yours would have probably, yeah. All right, so Pam, TNG, Fred, have a great weekend. Thank you again for both of you. Full amounts requested for PPP. Hit the bank accounts today. I'm so glad. I'm glad you stayed after it and you just got the right amount from your email. Susie, yay, Coach's Corner. I love it. Let's see, DC, Fred, Glenda got to go. Glenda's got to go to a Scientology meeting. You need to go check out that video. Craziest. All right, Candace, thank you so much. Carol, all right, have a beautiful weekend. PB, thank you again for that. And DC, thank you. I really appreciate you. Ronald Gray, thank you so much. Jen's been since the beginning. Yo, appreciate that so much. I love it. I love it. I love it. Let's see, we got somebody that talked in French. Hopefully they didn't go tell me to do something with myself. The Small Biz Prophet, Happy Mother's Day, Fun Times 99. It was on your website. Looking to find out what is considered utilities. Where would that be? So go to the forgiveness page and you'll see a document and it says PPP forgiveness for self-employed. Thank you for asking. Hopefully you'll find it there. Hannah Alley, PPP docs say my 1K will reduce forgiveness. Oh, wow, and my PPP 430 advanced 415. Interesting. I don't know why it says that then. So when you go to forgiveness or send me an email on this, Hannah, and I'll help you further on it because if it's after the 4.3, it shouldn't. So maybe just someone misunderstood. All right, Hannah. Yes, I appreciate that. CJ, have a good weekend. Maria Lee, MLB. Let's see. JYT Thompson, if you're going to be a sole proprietor, got 10K just to cover my line 31, 2019, 8 weeks in rent. Now listening to you sounds like we should return all the money. Oh, no. I mean, if you have a line 31, is that what you're saying? We have a proprietor, 10K just to cover. Well, make sure you're talking about PPP because if you got EIDL, you don't need to return it. PPP, if you had a Schedule C with net income, okay, you're good to go. All right. If you want to send me an email on that, happy to. If you'll say question from live, I'll help you with that. Let's see, Jennifer and the regulations. Jennifer's probably on it. PB, coach in the house. Oh, yes. Inferno. Thank you for joining us. I love you all. Thank you so much. Hannah Alley, thank you so much. Alyssa, that's right, Inferno. And Jennifer, Jennifer, send us an email. I've got it in the body of this. You all have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Happy Mother's Day to everybody. Thank you so much. I think you guys can continue to visit here. But anyways, thank you so much. What an honor to have everybody on today. Hopefully you subscribed. Hopefully you put your notifications on. But either way, I love you, and I'll see you Monday. And then don't you ever forget, you've never met a CPA quite like me. This is the best one we've ever had. Love you all. Thank you so much. Terry D'Angelo, thank you. Samantha, thank you. Pam. All right, we'll see y'all on Monday. Ya TV, here we go. Glenda, thank you. And Nancy H. and Canna Startup and John Hamilton and Ronald, thank you all. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you, thank you, thank you.